of her name because that reminds her of the great time she met the Boston Jesse, or is she kind of like, ugh?
Yep, that's exactly what she thinks. My name's Jesse Nelson. I am usually the producer of this show. Today I am the host of this show, Jason Wilde on assignment, although he is scheduled to appear a little bit later. He just has FOMO. He can't go a whole show.
Yeah, you take a day off. You take a day off.
Oh, I'm taking one off tomorrow.
I know you will.
I am getting out of here.
Everybody understands when you take a day off, you usually take 2, potentially 3 days off.
In the ESPN Madison studio with me, he is the Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher. Ryan Wollersheim, Wooly, is producing the show.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. I got an IPT for you right out of the gates this morning.
Let's hear it.
So, gonna go play golf, which I'm nervous about later this afternoon. And
today?
Yeah, it's 65 degrees. It's gonna be warm.
It's like nonstop rain.
Storm is brewing, but I looked, and we have this little event tonight, and I'm going to show up a little bit late, and I think Sarah's going to be a little irritated about it, but that's if we get the 18 in. I'm thinking I looked at Doppler. You guys know how I study Doppler. It looks good until 4. My partner and I, we play very fast. We had 2 of the guys bailed because of the storms, and my buddy texted me this morning, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Let's just go. It'll be nice out." And there's nobody in front because everybody is anticipating the storm, so we'll be able to finish walking probably in less than 3 hours. So I think we're going to get it done. We're going to roll. But my IPT, so I usually wear blue jeans until it gets to be warm enough. But I never golf in anything other than shorts.
I thought, were you going to ask, is it IPT to just bully your buddy into saying we're golfing 18 today? I don't care what you think. If it's
no.
Rain
He's
or not.
more of the bully. I am not. I like golf. He loves golf. I enjoy golf. He wanted to actually pull it, and I said, no. I've learned people care about certain things. People don't. People don't give 2 rips about me golfing this afternoon. Why am I talking about it? That's a fair question.
Yeah.
Because, so this event is, I'm going to wear blue jeans tonight. So I brought my blue jeans. I have my belt with my blue jeans. I didn't have my belt with the shorts. As I'm grabbing my binder and everything to come up to the office today, my shorts, I needed a belt. So is it IPT to put a coffee cup on someone else's car while you're putting a belt on? And then somebody's driving by, I'm putting a belt on my shorts standing up. Is that IPT to be standing in a parking lot putting a belt on your shorts?
So I'm trying to get the visual here. So I
get out of my tie. I have a cup of coffee.
Yep. Well, it's in a to-go mug.
To-go
this isn't
mug.
like a glass cup
I have
of
my
coffee.
hands somewhat full, and I'm thinking, if
Yeah.
I walk around, my shorts are not going to stay up. So I have to put the belt on the shorts, especially because I know I'm going to be a little crunched. I got to do the show, and then my tea time is boop, and I got to roll. So I don't want to have to go through. So I got to put the belt on. So I put the coffee mug. I don't think that's a big deal, right? Putting a coffee
on someone else's car?
Yeah, it's someone else's car.
Ooh. I don't mess with people's cars.
Okay.
I'm one who's protective over other people driving my car. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't mind people driving my car.
Even if you're in like a crowd, like if you're at AmFam Field at a Brewers game and you're standing, you're like leaning on somebody else's car.
Yeah,
like,
people do get frustrated.
I stay away from touching
Wooly,
other people's
are you
cars.
do you care if somebody's leaning on your car if you're tailgating and?
At a tailgate situation, of course not. I mean, we're all hanging out, having a good time in the parking lot, but I would definitely pay attention if I'm leaning on somebody else's car or putting something on somebody else's car, the type of car, too. Because, the type of car can tell you something about its owner sometimes, if it's
what?
If it's...
Let me hear these stereotypes.
Well, let me just say.
I'm kind of intrigued.
Who
drives a minivan? Who drives a Mercedes?
If it's a minivan, I think it's fair play because
you think it's already dirty and messy.
Because someone who drives a minivan understands utility. They understand what you're trying to find. You're trying to fit as many people in there, trying to get the most use out of the car as possible. Whereas if it was, say, I'll call out, maybe Tesla drivers. Sometimes a Tesla driver can get very protective of their car, very proud of their car.
Or if they're in a Porsche Boxster, you could probably see it.
Yeah, Porsche, a BMW.
All right, what about a guy that drives a Chevy Tahoe? Like me, I've driven a Chevy Tahoe for years. My friends down at Zimbrick Chevrolet. What would you, if you see, what's the stereotype with a with a Chevy Tahoe.
Well, I don't know if there's a
Rugged,
specific
tough.
stereotype.
Rugged and tough.
Rugged and tough. Yeah, rugged and tough. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Someone.
think you got places to be with a lot of things in that vehicle. You got
Yep.
a lot of
True.
storage
Yep.
space back there for
Okay.
the hockey equipment.
Hockey equipment.
Someone
golf
who comes
club
ready
stuff.
for
Okay.
the tailgate, bringing all the supplies.
Yeah.
All right, so I think the coffee cup. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, I should have. Once I did, I pulled it off because I thought I can't really just put a cup. So I didn't leave it there. But the putting on a belt, when somebody is driving through, they probably are thinking, what the hell is this guy doing?
You got to be swift with the
I
putting
wasn't
on the
swift.
belt situation.
Because I don't want to miss a
Yes.
loop. So I didn't want to, I got a
Yeah.
lot of loops. So I wanted to.
Did you do it like? So why didn't you just do it by your own car?
I did.
But you put the coffee on someone else's car.
Well, so I open up my driver's door.
Why not
I have
put it
my
just on your own?
I have my blue jeans and stuff in the seat behind the driver's side.
Yeah.
So I go, I shut my door. I'm like, oh, I got to put this belt on, so I got to take this, and boom, 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 and I got stuff. I got binders. So I put the binder in my car, and then I was like, oh, so I just set it down, and then I was thinking, well, I think that's probably rude.
Yeah, this is IPT. You're standing right next to your own car. Your car is your domain.
But here's the issue.
Your stuff
you
on
put
your
it
car.
up on top of the Tahoe, then all of a sudden I'm slamming that door. I'm finagling with it. All of a sudden it hit the car. The coffee cup spills. It hits me down my shirt. Then I have a dirty shirt. I put it on the other side of that car. I don't have to worry about
But
it.
what happens if it goes off kilter on the other car and, God forbid, the coffee falls over and suddenly you've got an entire coffee spillage situation
That's a fair question.
on someone else's Tesla?
Yeah, those are fair questions. It was not a Tesla. I don't even know what kind of car it was. I didn't see. That's where I just look at all vehicles and say, okay, nobody's car is better
no
than the
judgment
others.
from old T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No judgment from old
Matter of
T.
fact, if it was a Tesla, I'd probably be more apt to put the coffee on.
Sounds like it is judgment from old T.
So, all right. So it's not. It sounds to me like really not a big deal either way.
No, you shouldn't have done it. Now, I'd also say,
I did. I just told you. It was boom, boom.
when you're putting the belt on, do you have the car door open so you're kind of giving
I
like
do,
that
but it's the
little privacy
it's
area?
the passenger behind the driver. So people that were driving, and the parking ramp, people are going to see. It's
They're
not like
gonna
I'm
see it.
hiding behind.
Not much privacy at all,
No.
really. Just keep your stuff in your own car's personal space. That would be my official stance on the matter. Your coffee, you set on your car, and if
Okay,
it takes
so
an extra couple seconds to put
I'm
it in the
starting
cup
to wonder
holder, you
why I
do that.
asked you, because you take other people's food from Sweets.
I do, but that's
But
because
you
that's,
can't put a coffee cup that's not going to leave
no,
a ring.
because I have permission to take
Did
to-go
you?
food.
Well, anyways, fair enough. All fair points. I'll take that for what it's worth, which is nothing, and we'll move on.
The people on the text line are chiming in. Jerry, Ryan, among others. Just put it in your cup holder. Just take the extra couple of seconds.
Well,
your shorts aren't going to fall down. Put it in the cup
I
holder.
tend to agree with them. I think, all things being equal, I should have just left the coffee cup in my car. That would have been the right. But I wanted to. I like walking and drinking coffee. It's something I like doing.
Understood.
Okay.
Most people do. I
All right.
think. Yeah. All right. Big win for the Bucks last night, Tausch. Big win for the Bucks. Bounce back.
Oh, so your analysis was not even accurate. Giannis didn't even play.
Now they look better without Giannis.
No, they did not. But they did.
They look good.
I really felt like, and this happens a lot of times with teams. I can remember we went down to Miami and played the Dolphins. And Chad Clifton, who was our stud left tackle, he has bad sushi the night before, and trust me, I'm not going to go into dazzling details, but I was rooming with him, and it was disgusting. And he's laying there, and he's trying to figure out if he can IV and play. He can't play. And I know for me and for our offensive line, and I'm not comparing Cliffy to Giannis, but what I am trying to tell you is role players and other players, a lot of times they take that as a big opportunity to show what they're about. And I thought last night, knowing what was happening, and the Bucks kind of threw a little bit of a curveball, putting him questionable, which I think is good news for into the future. But that was a little curveball, probably a little gamesmanship to give the Heat
That's
a little
what I was gonna
something to
say.
think about, which is
Gamesmanship.
smart. But from a team standpoint, I'm sure the Milwaukee Bucks, and if you don't think Pat Connaughton was jacked up last night because he's not played, he has not even been really a part of the rotation. He is a championship caliber player, and he was excited to get back out there. It doesn't matter. Guys that are professional athletes, college athletes, anything at a high level, you're constantly trying to prove to others and, more importantly, to yourself that you can do it. everybody talks about the Milwaukee Bucks as Giannis and everybody else. And it's fair because Giannis is so good. But that group last night had a statement to make. And boy, did they make that statement. And that was a good sign because coming into it, I think we all looked at it and said, this is a championship caliber roster. The depth is better than it was when they won. And now is the time to show up and show out. And I thought Chris and the whole crew, fantastic last night in getting it done.
7 players scored in double figures, including 22 from Pat Connaughton off the bench, 6 of 10 from 3. Joe Ingles, 5 of 6 from 3 off the bench. Outstanding performance all around.
Yeah, but it wasn't even really. Obviously, the shooting is always important. But if you just look at, and I love the fact I think the fans took it personally that they were called out.
Yeah.
Because it sounded as if the place was raucous last night.
Well, they had more to cheer about last night
well,
than they did on
that's
Sunday.
true, but I think there's also fans, I've always said this, fans want to feel like they're making a difference. And, yeah, you can't be jacked up if your team comes out flat and is missing a bunch of shots in the Heat roll. But there's also the time and place and knowing when you need to pick your team up. Last night was a night to do it, and the team took that energy, but they provided their own. That was, I thought, what was the most important thing because I do feel like a lot of times when you're a 1 seed or you're heavily favored, you can kind of come into it playing a little bit back on your heels. You can kind of think that things are going to come to you, and it doesn't matter if it's playoff football or playoff basketball. The good thing for hoops, you get more cracks at it. Football, you can come out and play a bad half like the Packers did against the Giants back in 11, 12, and you can't recover, and then boom, your season's over. Hoops, you can have a bad game like they did in Game 1, and you still have time to regroup, and the best team always wins these series because over the course of time, your talent and what your drive is going to win out. That's what happened last night. I think as a Bucks fan, everybody has to be excited about that.
Drew Holiday had 24 points, second leading on the team, 11 assists last night. He talked after the game about Giannis and saying that, we can hold it down without the big fella out here. Here's Drew Holiday.
Again, our team has ultimate confidence in each other, and we know Giannis is going to try to, like you said, make that Superman effort and come back and play 48 minutes and do what he does. But like I said, we can hold down the fort until he comes back.
He going to play in Game 3 then, Saturday night, Tausch?
I mean, I think we hope so, but the Bucks proved last night it's always going to be more difficult to win on the road. And one of the observations a lot of NBA people will always say is that the biggest difference between home and road, obviously refereeing and the crowd noise and the energy, but role players always play better at home because they're more comfortable. And I always feel like that's the case. So for this team, without Giannis, I don't know what's the next split. Is it go Saturday to what?
So it's starting Saturday. It's then every other day through what a Game 7 would be.
Yeah, I would hope if it's not something bad that you get him back out there Saturday. That gives him 6 days of rest. You hope that he's able to get back out there. But if he's not feeling it and he's not going to be productive, I think you have to trust your guys to think that you can get this done without him. And you do that until you're proven otherwise. The problem is this series comes at you quick. It goes boom, boom after Saturday, and you don't want to get in a hole that you can't dig out of. Because even with the Bucks played a great game last night, offensively, defensively, I still think that you have to take this Miami Heat team, as bad of a shooting team as it is, they still scored, and I know a lot of it was Garbanzo at the end of the game. What did they put up, 122 last night?
They ended up putting up 122, but a lot of that game
was garbage. So, again, I think this is a series that the Bucks need to still take seriously. Just because you blew them out last night doesn't mean that with no Giannis that you're going to continue to be able to do that.
So, last question for you on the Bucks here, Tausch, because they tie the series at 1. In Game 1, the Heat shot 60% and won. Giannis went down with an injury. Last night, the Bucks tied a playoff NBA record with 25 made threes. Safe to say both of those performances, a bit of statistical anomalies on each end. For the rest of the series, do you think it's going to look more closer to Game 1 or to Game 2?
I think it's going to look a lot like what's going to happen in Game 3. You're going to see more median. I don't think you're going to see both teams shoot that well. I think you're going to see things now, you're getting comfortable, and you always see the better team with the adjustments that they make. It puts more onus on the players. because you're not getting cheap hoops. You're not getting into sets that defenses know what's happening, and it forces your guys. That's why the stars rule. And without Giannis, I think it is going to be a sludge match trying to get it done. I think they can, and I think they should. But obviously, Giannis is what moves that needle. And without Giannis, I think you're in for an old-fashioned dogfight. And you have to steal one now down in Miami, which this team is obviously very capable of doing.
The championship window is open for the Bucks as they pursue on here into Game 3 on Saturday night. And you know when we're talking windows, Tausch, we're talking Pella windows.
Gina Dell and the great team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Bucks win. Great night last night. The Milwaukee Brewers, 7-3 road trip, sweeping the Seattle Mariners for the first time since they played in the Kingdome. That lineup is pumping, so is the lineup at Pella. Leading off is their innovative and award-winning Easy Slide horizontal windows that reveal tons of natural light and great unobstructed views. And next up in the order is Pella's premium roll screens. Like magic. The screen rolls out of sight when you close that window. And on deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Like any great utility player, they can be placed anywhere on the field with custom in sizes and colors to fit your home's decor. Get 0% for 48 months when you order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
The Bucks were hitting trays last night. We're going to talk about a tray coming up next. You like that?
Yeah, I was letting you tease out, but I didn't want to interrupt you. That's not bad.
I wanted some recognition. I felt pretty good about that one.
I forgot who I'm dealing with.
Trey Lance on the tray market. We're going to talk about it next on Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Cheers to selection and savings. They are worth celebrating. I mean, have you tried to buy a car, a house, or even lumber lately? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where, since 1960, we've consistently provided the best selection and the lowest prices in southeastern Wisconsin. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, and wine. Over 14,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. And what about our prices? Oh, they're low, really low. Our long-standing relationships and enormous buying power allow us to pass savings directly to you. The result? Low prices every single day. I'll drink to that. Discount Liquor, locally owned and family operated with 2 locations. In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
Catch deals on everything you need for your next fishing trip at Fleet Farm. Shop our huge selection of rods, reels, and exclusive lures, and you'll be ready to reel in the big one. And don't miss this great deal going on now. Get a free $15 Fleet Farm gift card when you buy an Ugly Stick GX2 spinning combo. Next time you cast out, get a bite with help from Fleet Farm, your fishing headquarters.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 12.76 to 19-ounce package Bellatoria pizza, $5.99. 14-ounce ice cream or 3-count bars, Haagen-Dazs ice cream or ice cream bars, $3.99. 8.3 to 12-ounce package Frigo Cheesehead string cheese or cheese sticks, $3.99. 8-ounce chunk, 7 to 8-ounce sliced or 5.5 to 8-ounce shredded Tillamook chunk, sliced or shredded cheese, 2 for $6.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
What if I'm far from home? Oh, brother, I will hear you call. What if I lose it all? Oh, sister, I will help you out.
Gotta admit, Tausch, not a lot of empathy for you in your belt situation on the
I wasn't asking for
text
empathy.
line.
I was asking if I was IPT to do it. No empathy.
844-770-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Jesse and Tausch today, Wilde and Tausch. Jason on assignment. He will join us a little bit later, as will former Packers offensive lineman Brian Balaga, Iowa.
Did you
10
come
o'clock
up with
hour.
something right or wrong? I couldn't come up with. I was trying to come up with different ways because we both played right tackle, where you could say right and then wrong or left. I didn't know. I left it up to you. I can't wait to see what's on the show sheet.
Okay, don't get your hopes up.
Trust me, I knew when I put that initiative out to you, my hopes were not high.
Let's have Wooly get on that. He's producing.
All right, Wooly, you got it?
Yeah.
I'll make sure I'm running everything right today in the studio.
Ryan in McGuanago, it's a belt. It's not like you're changing your underwear
I
out
understand, but I think people get the look and the feel like you might be.
Well, then Rudy in Sheboygan says down to the boxers in public is okay by him.
All right, Rudy. Sounds like Rudy's a good time.
If you got to make an adjustment, that's okay, apparently, according to Rudy. 844-770-3776. The law may suggest otherwise, but according to Rudy, you're good. Let's talk about Trey Lance for a minute, because this was interesting. Came through yesterday afternoon. Ian Rappaport, among others, reported that the San Francisco 49ers were not shopping former third overall pick Trey Lance, quarterback. Hasn't gotten a bunch of playing time in San Francisco for injuries and other reasons. But they were fielding calls on Trey Lance. So while the 49ers are not actively looking to trade one of their top draft picks from a couple of years ago, teams are inquiring. Now, the 49ers have essentially stated, it hasn't been explicitly said, but Brock Purdy sounds like he's going to be the starting quarterback of the 49ers next year, and they have signed Sam Darnold with Jimmy Garoppolo gone. So seems like the 49ers have a pretty good idea what they're doing at quarterback next year. Now, Purdy coming back from injury, you don't know how long he's going to be out. Darnold, obviously a proven starter, has some experience, now on his third team getting around the league, also a former high draft pick. The question, Tausch, is, as your guy, and I know I don't want you to leave the studio, but Craig Carton was the one who originally said a couple of weeks ago, and you've put a moratorium on Craig Carton commentary, but he was the one who said don't discount the 49ers as being a team that could be in looking to acquire Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
So if teams are inquiring about Trey Lance, is it possible that either the Packers or the Jets are among those teams that are asking?
No. The Jets are all in on getting Aaron Rodgers. The Green Bay Packers are all in on Jordan Love. And Trey Lance has done nothing in this league that would make you think this is the guy we need. or San Francisco wouldn't be shopping him. I don't care what they say. If you're taking calls and enough info is out, I think this is probably coming from Trey's camp, because I don't think Trey Lance wants to be in San Francisco. I think he feels like he has been mismanaged. I feel like he believes he could do better somewhere else. And the expectations you have when you've given up 3 first-round picks for someone, it makes it very difficult expectation-wise. So I think I would look more at the Minnesota Vikings. I would look at teams that have a built-in starter that they're looking to exit from in the near future. I don't think that's where the Green Bay Packers are. And for everybody that thinks San Fran is in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, Aaron Rodgers has said he's not playing for San Francisco. Now, you can come back at me and say, well, he said he's never going to leave Green Bay. That's fair. Can't argue with that. They have no draft capital. They have none. Well, if the Packers are fighting for a 1 and a 2, San Fran don't have any of those forever. They got a 1 next year. They don't have any 2s because they gave it away for McCaffrey. So I don't know if that is, and then you compound that with the money. San Francisco's up against it. They're paying a lot of guys. They got to pay Obosa yet. They have a bunch of stuff. So while I do think if Aaron Rodgers could hand pick a spot that would lead him to a championship window real quickly, San Fran would be a great spot to go because they got to the NFC Championship with the last pick in the NFL draft last year. How do you think they'd feel with him? They wanted him before. There's not viability, and I don't think under any circumstances is Matt LaFleur going to try and help his former buddy out in taking him there. So the Trey Lance component is a big old nothing burger when it comes to the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets.
I'm glad you brought up LaFleur's former buddy or current, but we don't really know the status of their buddyship. Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Erica in Milwaukee is one of our great fans.
I haven't heard from Erica in a while.
Aaron Rodgers stands. She texted in yesterday. We didn't get to this yesterday.
Okay.
But this is a fun question. How come it seems to be all of Matt LaFleur's buddies are the ones that are rumored to be interested in Aaron Rodgers? You got Robert Saleh with the Jets. You got Vrabel in Tennessee was the one that came up when she texted this in
first
yesterday.
of all, Vrabel and LaFleur do not like each other. So that is nothing.
Even though LaFleur worked for Vrabel?
Correct.
Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying.
You're welcome.
Kyle Shanahan, interested in Aaron Rodgers out in San Francisco.
Well, because Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback.
McVay called about him a couple of years ago. That's what kind of got the whole trade
Probably
rumors
because
started.
I'm sure they've heard the rumors that Aaron was wanting to do something else, and when Jordan Love got drafted, that opened the floodgates for these guys. Had Jordan Love not got drafted, you'd have never heard any of that. And who knows how this all would have been played out, but it's a fair question. The Nathaniel Hackett piece to this is more why I think Aaron Rodgers feels comfortable going to New York rather than Robert Saleh. I think he likes Robert Saleh. I think he feels like that defense will be really good, and I think he feels comfortable that Nathaniel Hackett will be calling the plays and that they'll be on the same page with what they want to do on offense.
Why do you say the Vikings? You said the Vikings would be a team interested in Trey Lance.
He's from there. He's a Minnesota Cat.
Played at
North Dakota State.
Yeah.
And I think when you start looking at what Minnesota's doing, Kirk Cousins, they have extended him. They've paid him a ton of money. And I think that playoff game and what they've seen from him is he's a really good player. But I don't know if they want to pay that price again to have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. I'll be surprised if they don't draft somebody. They did not redo his deal. They're taking a big chunk, and then they can get out from under his contract next year. They're basically saying Kirk's got 1 year to get it done. And if they don't, and I think Kirk Cousins right now, you make a really good argument that he is the second best quarterback in the NFC. If somebody could tell me who's better, I'm open to hearing it. But the Minnesota Vikings have made the decision that they are going to open up their options. They can't keep paying that top dollar for that position if they're not going to get that elevated spot that they feel like they could plug and play a younger player in. That's why I think Trey Lance would make sense, because he's still on a rookie deal. And I think San Francisco would probably get out from under that up for a third-round pick. That's what I think that's where I think they're at. I think they both sides could use a clean breakup and move forward.
844-770-3776, the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. I want to play a little Would You Rather game with you, Tausch, coming up next. It's definitely not left, right, center, or whatever you want to play later with Bulag. I don't know how we're going to work on that, but I got a little game in store for you to run some questions by you coming up next. It's not as fun as I had logging on last night on Prize Picks and getting a nice little win during the
Did you have
NBA.
a win last night?
Got my notification about 15 minutes ago. Nice win last night.
Three person, 4 person?
I actually nailed 5
You
out of
did not.
5 out of 6.
Oh, you tried the 6X?
I tried the 6X because they got a nice little promotion going on right now. So I got 5 out of 6.
Are you
last
doing their
night.
$1 million challenge, though?
That's what I was trying for.
So if you get 6, then it's a random $1 million winner, correct?
So you enter the 6-pick flex play.
But you have to play it every day.
You have to play it every day.
Okay.
And then if you play it every day, they pick one number at random, and if you're the number entry for the day that does it, then you get the $1 million play. And if you go 6 for 6, you win $1 million.
Ooh.
But 4 out of 6 won a guy $16K the other day. That's not too bad either.
That's all pretty
take
good.
that, too.
That's why Prize Picks is so fun. Daily fantasy sports made easy. You just take your entries. Go ahead and take a look. I'm looking at for tonight. James Harden struggling. I think he's going to have a big night. I've been terrible, though, at the NBA playoffs so far. I have stunk. Everything I've done is wrong. So fade me. Just go Oppo. James Harden, I have 19.5 points. I like that. I'll take the more on that, and I'll take the less on Tyrese Maxey. You guys make your own mind up because Daily Fantasy Sports is made easy, and you got 2 to 6 players. Whatever you want to do. And you're not going against Jesse or me. You're just going against Prize Picks' projections. Entries are made in 60 seconds or less. It is that easy. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. And first-time users, you get a 100% deposit match. Put 100 in, Prize Picks throws you another 100, and you just go to work. All you have to do, enter the promo code WI for that instant deposit match.
A little quarterback Would You Rather coming up next. Jesse and Tausch on Wilde Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Now, we all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better. My wife, Sarah, is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Your first time biking to work. Your new helmet? Secure. Your bike? Road ready. You got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So even if down the road that bike needs a little maintenance, at least your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at boucher.com.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our great outdoor event. Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like $70 off a Lifetime Tamarack Pro sit-on-top kayak. Rewards members save an extra $20. Assorted Raider Power Sport helmets and accessories, 10% off. And all Cooper tires are on sale, with up to $75 in consumer rebates and an extra $50 instant savings when you buy 4. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
Q Club of Wisconsin is the perfect game day destination to catch all of your favorite teams in action. With tons of TVs in their sports bar, plus drinks and great food, it's the place to be. Check out their fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays and brunch specials on the weekends. Plus, this year, Q Club of Wisconsin is the official football draft headquarters for ESPN Milwaukee. Catch 94.5 ESPN broadcasting live from Q Club of Wisconsin during round 1 of the draft on April 27th. Q Club of Wisconsin in Waukesha, qclubofwi.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand.
No Jason Wilde today, Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch, ESPN Wisconsin. Wilde is going to join us at 10:15. He really wanted to talk to Brian Bulaga.
Maybe I'll take that segment off.
Well, no.
I'm all right, though. I mean,
so when Bulaga has come on before in recent appearances, it's when you've been out.
I know.
So I know that you want to spend some time with your guy.
Yeah, I will. I got 3 other segments. It's got to be, sometimes you almost get too much. There's too much knowledge being excused. But no, obviously I'll stick.
No such thing as too much knowledge. Never. Brian Bulaga scheduled to appear for the entire 10 o'clock hour, and Jason Wilde for one of those segments, which Tausch may or may not take off now. 844-770-3776, the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. So we're talking about Trey Lance. Reports yesterday that the 49ers have fielded calls. They have not made their own calls, but they have fielded calls about Trey Lance's availability.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, we're now a week out. The draft is next Thursday. Does anyone really think, I saw reports, this whole Tennessee thing, I squashed that. The Tennessee thing is just fake news.
Well, you've now squashed back-to-back days, Tennessee and San Francisco, because you squashed that last segment.
San Francisco, there would have to be so many moving parts, and I think that the Jets thing would have to implode. Does anyone really not believe that this is going to happen by Thursday? It has to.
I think the longer it drags, the more you start to view that as a real possibility, and that's what the national narrative is starting to shift as. You watch Get Up, you watch any of the ESPN shows, like that's what you're starting to hear. Like it's over a month since he went on McAfee and said his intention is to play for the Jets. At this point, if you can't figure something out in 4.5 weeks, what's to say in the next week?
Because you need to have a deadline to do it, and I think. And when Charles joined us probably a week ago, he laid out where it's at. And the fact that it's at a 2, and then whether you want to say it's a 3rd-round pick that can climb to a 2nd, that can climb to a 1, that is going to be the structure of this deal. You're going to see that get done. And you're going to see it get done because Goody needs it done and Joe Douglas needs it done. And the Green Bay Packers have made it very clear that they want to have extra picks in this year's draft. You waste and, let ego get in the way and force, well, if I'm not doing a 1, I'm not doing it. Okay. The Jets could say, okay, well, what are you going to do in June or July? So all of this, I think I've come to the understanding now, if it doesn't happen Thursday with the pick swap, which is what I'm an advocate for, it'll happen Friday. This deal will get done, and it will get done before next Saturday. It has to. And if it doesn't, I think it's more on the Green Bay Packers than I would say on the New York Jets because I don't think time is going to be a positive thing for this deal for the Green Bay Packers. You don't want to get into having to scrap for picks in 24 and 25. The odds would be that the New York Jets will be better, and you're not going to get as the quality of pick that you would get if you do it this year. That's why I think all of this other stuff, it's been quiet. That makes me think that it's pretty doggone close. Something will edge this over, and you know the two words I think will do it.
Pick swap.
Pick swap.
So you're not taking the cheese from Craig Carton or anybody else that there's another team that's going to get in the mix for this Aaron Rodgers trade. You're saying that it's happening by next week,
The trade
Friday
is happening, and it
Saturday.
will happen by Friday. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
There it is. That's what Tausch says, 844-770-3776. I did want to ask you a couple of these would-you-rather questions that I came up with here. So seeing the Trey Lance news, I thought that was interesting, that whether it's the Vikings or the Jets or another team that could be interested in acquiring him, it could have ramifications on what happens with Aaron Rodgers.
It could, but it's not going to.
Thank you. So if you were assembling a team this year, Tausch, which of these quarterbacks would you want starting for your squad? Your options are Trey Lance, Kirk Cousins, which is probably going to win, I would guess, Jordan Love, or Brock Purdy. Let's assume Purdy's healthy.
Okay.
Which of those four, what's your power rankings
Who's
in
my
order
coach?
there? Who's the most average coach in the NFL?
Eberflus.
Sure.
We'll put Eberflus.
Sure. Bears head coach Matt Eberflus. He is your head coach. Who do you want as your quarterback?
All right, I don't
Those
want
four.
Trey Lance or Purdy.
Why not?
Because I think Trey Lance he's raw. He's had a bad ankle. Purdy doesn't have an arm. His elbow shot. He don't even know if he's going to be able to play.
Okay.
So scrap those two. It comes down to Jordan Love or Kirk Cousins, which is a fascinating question. Because I think for the Green Bay Packers and what Matt LaFleur wants to do, Jordan Love's a better fit. But the question I have is, if you ask Kyle Shanahan, who almost everybody would put as the top of their list, outside of Reed and Belichick, Shanahan's getting that third vote as third place. He's on the medal stand. Who do you think he wants? I think he wants Kirk Cousins. That's what I think. Yes. He had him in Washington, had a ton of success. I would think Packer fans are loyal. They'd pick Jordan Love, but if you're looking at past results, you take Kirk Cousins. I think with what Green Bay wants and where they're at, salary cap-wise and all things considered, it's a no-brainer. I take Jordan Love. But if I am looking for consistent quarterback play, I don't know how anybody could look at this and say it's not Kirk Cousins. It has to be.
One more would you rather here before we get to trivia coming up, and then Brian Bulaga at 10 a.m. So I wanted to ask you this question. If you have these options to bring in as your backup quarterback to Jordan Love this year, so these are guys that are in theory available to the Green Bay Packers, who do you want backing up Jordan Love this year? Would you want the experienced veteran with some starting experience? Let's call that guy, I don't know, Matt Ryan, Jason's guy that he wants to bring in. If you have a former high draft pick needing a change of scenery, let's call that guy, I don't know, Trey Lance. Or you have a rookie that could fall to the Packers on day 3 of the NFL draft. Let's call that guy Aiden O'Connell, Purdue. Those are your 3 options.
For this year with Jordan Love.
Yeah. Who do you want as the backup?
It's Matt Ryan, and it's not close. Now, what's the salary if it's low? Because I really believe that you need to turn this ship over and let Jordan Love eat. So Trey Lance is out for a couple of reasons for me. He's injured. He has not proven himself, and he would be someone that people would say, let's turn to him and see what he's got. I don't think that's good for where Jordan's at in his career. So when you start looking at 7th-round picks, 8th-round picks, and thinking that might be something, I really think that Matt Ryan could come in and teach and be a good mentor for Jordan Love. And if push came to shove and Jordan missed a couple weeks, I think Matt LaFleur could figure out ways to win games with Matt Ryan as his quarterback. That is, to me, the perfect fit for this scenario if Matt Ryan is open to doing it at a very cost-effective contract for the Green Bay Packers.
So are you only open to Matt Ryan when Jason is on the show and you want to be combative with him, or like because he floated Matt Ryan, you were like, Matt Ryan. You seemed like you were low.
No,
on
I
Matt
said it would be
Ryan.
fine if he's going to do it for the right price. I don't think you're looking at Matt Ryan as anyone that's going to come in and push Jordan Love from the position standpoint, and I don't mind that. I have come around on Matt Ryan as someone that could come in and fill in any type of, filling in and being a stopgap quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I'm not interested in that. I really am all about seeing where Jordan Love is at, and I want to see the Packers do everything they can to make his first year successful as a starter. And if Matt Ryan's his backup, I think that's a good fit. But if something would happen to Jordan and you're expecting Matty Ice to lead you, go ahead and look at what the Indianapolis Colts did last year. That'll be a very good indicator of where Matt Ryan's at.
We'll get to some of your texts that are rolling in on the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line throughout today's show, 844-770-3776. Hey, might even read a few for Brian Bulaga to jump in on the conversation with when he's scheduled to appear. Coming up about 15 minutes from right now. Coming up next, though, it's time to play Wilde Tausch trivia. And with the Brewers wrapping up their 10-game West Coast road trip, 7-3 they go on the West Coast. Sweeping the Mariners. What was your stat, Tausch? First time sweeping the Mariners since when?
Since they played in the Kingdome.
Wow. Big week for the Crew as they get set to return to AmFam Field. We will take caller 10 for today's trivia category. The 3 stops for that road trip: Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix. That's today's trivia category. Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix. Caller number 10 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776 to play Wilde Tausch Trivia. Chance to win an ESPN Wisconsin prize pack. And if you get all 3 questions right, Tausch just might raise a Coors Light in celebration of that achievement for you.
I would love to do that. It's going to be a little bit of a muggy day today, so you got to make sure that Blue Mountains are chilled blue. Not just regular blue. Make sure they're chilled blue because Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill. And I always make sure the mountains are blue. I don't want no lukewarm Coors Light. I want it chilled to perfection. That's what's always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I got this little nodule on my knee.
I saw you made a face there. No.
I hit it, and it's like a bunch of nerve endings. I can't kneel on it. So when I go to church, I always can only kneel right knee, which doesn't feel great either.
No.
But this nerve, it is a series of nerve endings that I had removed, and it keeps coming back, and it is painful. So if you ever want to get me, just come and hit me in the left knee. Right, there's a little nodule, and I will cry like a baby.
Don't tell Sabonis. 844-770-3776. Wilde Tausch Trivia is next.
Wilde Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. All this action will have you on your feet cheering Fear the Deer. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Get your single game tickets now at bucks.com/playoffs.
A big storm brewing? Don't miss it. It's Thursday Thunder this April at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. You could win a share of $400,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your club card April 1st through the 27th, and you could be one of 50 winners each Thursday. Showers might bring flowers, but thunder brings the boom. Only at Potawatomi. More info at paysbig.com/thunder. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you ready for summer? Cousin Subs and Summerfest are teaming up once again for the return of the world's largest music festival with a special ticket offer. Simply place an order online at cousinsubs.com of $30 or more now through April 30th and receive a free weekday Summerfest ticket. This offer is not valid in store. One qualifying purchase per day per email will result in a free weekday ticket. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. For a complete list of rules, visit cousinsubs.com/Summerfest.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
The Nets look to get back in the series tonight as things shift back to Brooklyn.
Dinwiddie, left side three, yes, a 22-10 lead.
While the 76ers go for a commanding 3-0 series lead.
Play, they go into Joel Embiid on the right block. He gets doubled, but the shot goes in, and he'll go to the line and shoot.
Nets 76ers Game 3. Coverage starts tonight at 6 right here on 94.5 ESPN. The NBA on ESPN Milwaukee is sponsored by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
So the category for Wilde and Tausch trivia in a moment. Jesse and Tausch, Jason on assignment. He will join us a little bit later, as will Brian and Bulaga in about 10 minutes. The category is Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix. But Tausch, I know that you're a big fan of Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, which we debuted yesterday.
Love it.
We're going to have one for you here. Let's welcome in our contestant for today's Wilde and Tausch trivia, Randy from Pickett?
Yep.
Randy is a first-time contestant, I'm told. That's exciting. Welcome to the show, Randy. Tausch?
Thank you.
Where the heck is Pickett? I have not a clue.
Great question.
It is an hour and a half southeast of Auburndale.
Okay.
It's up there. Oh, okay.
Southeast of Auburndale. So that's, you're heading south, you go through Point, you go through, I'm going to say it's near, is it near what's the town that we always get off on there? Not Necedah.
Southeast.
Yeah, I'm heading.
A little farther, a little south.
Okay, Portage.
Portage, nah, it's more towards. You got to go more east.
You get to Portage, you've gone too far.
Wapaka.
Yeah, a little more southeast. Closer.
Okay. All right, where is it near?
What's the biggest landmark?
Okay, it's between Oshkosh and Ripon.
Ripon. Okay. Off of Highway 21.
Yeah, it's on Highway 44.
44.
Well, I've heard it both ways.
44 and 21. They both go Oshkosh to the west side of the state. Yeah.
A little more southeast.
All right. All right.
Tausch has
you
lost all
you
of-
got it now.
Tausch has
I
lost
nailed
all
it.
of his entries for Wilde Tausch
Pickett
trivia.
is near Ripon. That is going to be the new thing every time.
Ripon and Pickett.
About halfway. Yep.
Okay. Little more southeast. All right. The classic comedy Anchorman, starring Will Ferrell, takes place in which of these U.S. cities? Is it Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix?
Let's go Seattle.
Little more southeast.
Let's go Phoenix.
Little more northwest.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Oh, San Diego.
That's one. If you've seen the movie, it should be pretty easy. If you haven't, you're probably going to struggle with that one. So sorry about that one.
Yeah, I struggled with that one.
Let's bounce back here, Randy, with question number 2 in the category of Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix. Oh, look at this. Longitudinally, which of these cities is located farthest west? Seattle.
Farthest west?
Farthest west. Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix?
It sounds like a tricky one. I'll say San Diego.
Little further north.
A little more northwest.
Darn it.
It is.
I was going to say Seattle, too. I'm trying to think of it. I thought it was a trick question.
Yeah, Seattle's
Yeah, I
way
knew
up
it wasn't
there.
Phoenix. San Diego on the coast there, Seattle. that
Just
was-
a little further
Yeah,
west
that was-
up there in the northwest.
All right, let's get one correct
Come
here. We don't
on,
want to wear
Randy.
the collar.
Represent Pickett proudly.
Which of these
I'm
cities?
trying.
I know you are. You're competing. Which of these cities has most recently celebrated winning a championship in one of the 4 major sports: the NFL, NHL, MLB, or the NBA? Is it Seattle, San Diego, or Phoenix?
I'm going to go San Diego.
Randy, did you even think about it?
You know, sometimes just trust your gut. Randy,
Who would have been the last San Diego team to win a championship,
well, the
Randy?
Padres were close. Who won it? The
Southeast or
Seahawks is the last
Northwest?
one.
Of those 3 cities, the Seattle
I
Seahawks was
thought
the last
the Phoenix WNBA team won a
to
championship.
win. That's not one of the 4. That's why we clarified in the
sounds-
question.
that sounds
NFL,
sexist.
NHL,
Sounds very
MLB, or
sexist.
it's widely regarded. It's also anti-soccer. It's also
I'm all right with being anti-soccer.
anti-NASCAR. Let's just
Yeah,
offend
me
every
too.
crowd of
Okay.
sports fans.
All right.
Randy, that was tough.
That's a good start. You know what? I'll tell you, just got he rode the first time he rode the horse. He'll get back.
Yep.
He'll get back on that horse.
Randy,
Yeah, I'll call back in.
1 entry's all you need. That's what you have for the drawing for the ESPN Wisconsin prize pack tomorrow. Randy, good luck. The odds are not in your favor, but that doesn't mean you don't have a chance to
You
win.
never know.
Thanks for playing.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Randy.
Little more southeast. Little more.
We'll go a little more southeast
So
with this
the
show.
only thing I'm
Oh,
curious
okay.
about,
Yep.
southeast. If you're heading from Auburndale, Greenwood. Yeah, it is east. He's right. Randy's
I think
right.
Randy knows where he lives.
I
yeah.
believe he does. Yeah, he was right.
He didn't know much about the West Coast, but I think he knows where Pickett is pretty well. Speaking of the Southeast, that's where former Packers offensive lineman Brian Bulaga, Iowa, joins us from. Brian Bulaga, Florida. My math is correct. Brian Bulaga, scheduled to appear reunited with Tausch. Next on Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch is upon us. No Jason Wilde, he is on assignment, although he is scheduled to appear next segment with us here. Jesse Nelson, that's me. Normally I'm the producer of the show. Today I slide over to host the show, along with the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Ryan Wollersheim is our producer in the ESPN Madison studios. And it is our pleasure to once again be joined by a guy who is becoming quite a pleasant, recurring character on Wilde and Tausch. Usually, you hear him subbing in for Tausch as a special guest cousin sub of the day. Today, he joins to host the show for the 10 o'clock hour with Tausch. He is former Packers offensive lineman, Brian Bulaga, Iowa. Brian, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. So did you get around in? Give me your quick, because it's supposed to rain, and we've had snow. We were awesome. Last Thursday I played, it was 84 degrees. Then it snowed, and it hailed. And I'm trying to get out. Thursday's our day to get out. I try to play on Thursdays. And it is right now 50, but with a 60% chance of thunderstorms. Do you go out and play if you're Brian Bulaga, if you're living in Wisconsin? Because in Florida, if it's going to rain, you don't even think about playing,
this isn't a think twice situation.
Yeah, correct. If I'm in Wisconsin, I'm at least giving it a shot. Got to give it a shot.
So what's your schedule now? Are you playing, 4 days a week? Are you doing 6 days a week? What's your golf schedule as kind of Abby lets you get out there and play?
Yeah, I wish it was at that. Right now I'm at roughly a couple days a week only. I mean, I got a simulator at the house, so I'll get on that for an hour here or there. But
that's not right.
It's a brag if I've ever heard one, yeah.
But no,
I got a simulator next to my movie theater with my sauna and my bowling alley.
Don't have one of those. I'm not a big bowler. Never been a big bowler.
Okay.
But I definitely have that. So, I can't go out every day. I go get the kids from school and do drop off. I got to do the workout in the morning and all that. So don't play as much as I want, but I do have a member guest starting tomorrow. So
I can
pretty
join
excited
you.
about that.
Who are you bringing, and why didn't I get invited?
I'm bringing my buddy. Actually, his name's Matt Reeder. We are defending champions of the member guest at Gator Creek. So we got to try to run it back. We got to try to run it back.
Defending champions. I feel like you're going to be called a lot of names at your club.
There's a chance.
Yeah,
there's a chance.
I feel like that because I'll tell you what. But a little story time before we get into Rodgers and all the other stuff. When Blue came to Green Bay, He came down to Madison. We golfed a couple times, and he wasn't as bad as Wilde, but Balaga could not hit a golf ball. Am I misstating that, Brian? You stunk.
No. I was
off
awful.
the tee. You couldn't hit it. It was a complete mess. Then a couple years later, I'm retired. I come up and play with him and a couple other guys, and he's smoking it, and he's shooting like 37, beating Rogers, and Aaron starts pouting because Balaga beats him on the front nine. What was it, all time, or was it the equipment? How did you go from being so bad to beating A-Rod at I think we were at, where were we at? Kohler. He beats him at Kohler on the front nine, and it got awkward. It was awesome to watch.
I think it was time. That was pre-kids, and even probably maybe shortly after being married. So I had a lot of time. I was able to go out, play golf, hit balls for hours on end, play 4 or 5 times a week, and the game just kind of came together. But yeah, when I first started, you're right. I was worse than awful.
Yeah, you were not.
I was worse. Yeah, I was worse than awful.
I agree.
So, but hey, Tausch, just so we make it clear, getting called names at the club.
Yeah.
I mean, I play out at Gator as a 5 handicap. There can't be any complaints.
Oh, you're down to a 5. That's about where you should be. Yeah, but I just
that's
know.
That's a Gator, though.
Yeah, I just know how this thing goes. And former athletes that win, I never win any. But what I do at my club is I'll play, and I will be at 89 to 93 pretty much all season. I get hot for a stretch in July where I will break 80 2 or 3 times in a week. And that's when I like to get in all these deals because I'll start feeling it. And then after I peak, I drop back and I go back to my normal. I don't have, even though I think I'm a 14 or a 15, I don't have people calling me those same names because I put all my scores in, and that's about where I end up. I think a 5 for you is about right.
I don't know. Right now, it's not. It's pretty inaccurate because Gator, that club,
Gator.
They only
chomp chomp.
They only allow Gator scores there, so it's whatever you play out at there.
Oh, you don't get to put in all your other scores when you're out at Pebble and all the other great spots, Augusta and everywhere else that you go. Your simulated round at in Charlotte, whatever it is. All right, so Blue, one of the reasons we love having you. You're always great with your time, and we appreciate it. But we had Mel Kiper on last week, and you mentioned you had a couple of words that you would have liked. If we could have gotten that earlier, we would have asked Mel. But can you take us through your draft process, who you went and saw, and what those critiques were? Because they did call you short-armed and all the other stuff. Give us a little taste of what your draft process was like.
So it was, I think for everybody, it's kind of a whirlwind. Maybe it's different for some guys or others, but I took probably, what did I take? 2 visits, maybe 3. I know the 2 that stuck out were Pittsburgh and Oakland at the time. Yeah, they were in Oakland. And Oakland. I remember I went to Pittsburgh, never even talked to Mike Tomlin, didn't even see him. Sat in the O-line room. That was pretty fun. And then when I went to Oakland, nobody was there. And the building was empty. I don't even know if the guys were. I have no idea what was going on. But you went up to the O-line room with the O-line coach, and you went through plays and went through formations and what you did at Iowa. Then they give you 20 minutes. They gave me 20 minutes to look at their playbook and kind of what they did protection wise and run wise. And I got 20 minutes, and then he came back in and he grilled me on the pass protection and the concepts. Right then and there, and I don't know if I passed or failed. I have no idea, but that was kind of the process. But I think a lot of things, especially during the combine, all those meetings. I probably met with 25 to 28 teams throughout that, and got grilled a lot, and a lot of it was on the length of my arms, like. Do you think you could play tackle with the length of your arms? These DNs are very long. They got long arms, and they can get on your body before you can even get a hand on them, and this and that. So it was definitely something that was brought up by teams. But then, guys like Kiper and McShay and all these guys, that's what they ride or die with on tackle play is arm length. That's like the number one thing they talk about. He's not very long, or he doesn't have the prototypical 34-inch arms or this or that. It's actually pretty comical when you watch it.
Yeah, and they're saying those same things about Skoronski now. Left tackle for Northwestern, who was, I think most people had him pegged as a top 10 pick, and I think he's still going to fall there, but they're saying you have to move to guard. I understand the arm length. It obviously helps, but that obviously for you was a sore spot and something. What was your comeback to them when they kept asking you about it? Because I know that had to be irritating.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly irritating because you got to answer the question about 20 times, and try to repeat the same thing over and over. And pretty much what I always came down to, I dealt with it at Iowa too. You're in the Big Ten. You're going against guys that are very talented. That are also big DNs and all that. Probably not the same talent-wise as what you're going to see in the NFL, obviously. But the answer would just be it's technique. It's body position technique. It's core strength. It's lower body strength to be able to absorb bull rushes and work your hands back in and really put yourself in good positions off the snap. And that was something that once I got to the Packers and you started going against the Clay Matthews and guys like that did have long arms and you had to be conscious of that. It's all about after that first initial contact where you fit your hands and getting those underneath theirs and really working that kind of, it's a double under technique with the when you get bull rushed and working your hands back underneath their kind of armpit area or bottom of their chest plate and sinking that in. So that's kind of what I would tell them is that this is a technique game and they know it better than anybody. It's a technique game. I mean, you could have my arm length or whoever else is, and if you're a good technician, especially on the edge, because that's what it takes. It's not much of a brawler as so much on the inside. If you have good technique, you could win, and that's at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's not about how pretty does it look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it to me it always, like, if you're evaluating tackles, if you can't move your feet, you can't play. I don't care if you have 45-foot long arms.
Yeah, I agree.
If your feet can't move, you can't play. And I think now they're making this big thing on the RAS, your relative athletic score, and the fact that Green Bay, I think the Packers look a lot at that first 10. I think they love that because the 40-yard dash and all of the other stuff, it is how quick can you get from point A to point B, because you're not running 40 yards. You're getting to a spot 5 to 7 yards. And when did you have an inkling? Yeah, there are two old washed-up tackles when you were drafted. But did you have an inkling Green Bay was thinking about you? And did you feel, because the mocks had you going there, and did you have a pretty good vibe that was going to, if you got to Green Bay, that you were going to be selected by them?
To be honest with you, I had no idea. I knew there was the connection between Coach Philbin and Iowa. I know when I had that meeting with the Packers at the Combine, Coach Philbin pretty much ran me through my entire interview. I don't think Campy said a word. He's probably like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
He's probably like, get this guy out of here. But I went through pretty much the entire interview with Philbin because he knew all of Iowa's offense and their protection scheme and the run plan and all that. So I went through probably like 20 minutes of tape with Coach Philbin. So after I walked out of there, I was kind of like, that went fine. That went well, but I have no idea if they have even any interest at all in me. And it was kind of one of those things that when I was sitting in the room and, the Packers were up, I was kind of like, I don't know which way they're going to go with this. I have no idea. And probably about 8 minutes on the clock. That was back when the draft, you could take, it almost felt like a half hour per pick. Mm-hmm. With like 8 minutes on the clock, I got a call from the Packers, and I was like, this is pretty awesome. You knew Aaron Rodgers was there. Growing up as a Chicago kid, obviously same division, so you watched a lot of Packer games. So I was pretty juiced up about it. I had no idea that I'd be learning from two legends in Tausch and Cliffy, but had no idea.
Lucky you. Brian, before we go to break, can you explain, do you think you could have played guard in this league too?
Oh, I don't think so. Remember, I got put at guard my rookie
Yeah, I remember that.
In camp, and I was absolutely terrible at it.
Yeah, I always feel like good players will find a way.
I mean, maybe I could have if I settled in a little bit more and understood the offense better and was comfortable with what I was doing. But I was so focused on, making sure I knew what to do at tackle that when Campy would kick me into guard, I mean, I understood what we were doing, but how fast it happens on you at guard compared to tackle, it's a different story. You know what I mean? It takes an adjustment. And, when you're taking Cliffy's reps at left tackle and then you take the backup left tackle reps and then you get put in at guard, you're swimming all over the place.
You ever thank Cliffy for giving you all those reps? You never practiced. Did you ever just thank Cliffy for, thank you for letting me take every training camp rep and then...
I never thanked him, but I think he got the idea probably I never thanked him, but once towards the end of camp when the starters start to ramp up their reps and Cliffy started to take a little more reps here and there.
Yeah.
He would start looking at me like, Big Blue, you got to take a couple of these.
Blue.
And I just
What you doing, Big Blue? Hey, Joe, there, Big Blue.
I'm like, you got to talk to Campy. You got to talk to Camp. I can't put myself in, Cliff. I can't do that. But no, I never thanked him for it. But I did appreciate the experience for my short, brief stint at left tackle. Very brief.
This is awesome. We're going to have more with Packers offensive lineman Brian Bulaga as we continue throughout the 10 o'clock hour, including with Jason Wilde scheduled to join the conversation coming up next. Man, I'm just going to sit back, put my feet up, and enjoy. And you guys started the conversation talking all about that golf down in Florida. Tausch, you got to get Bulaga up here to go to Lac La Belle.
Yeah, we're going to do a live show from Lac La Belle with Blue, and that's where Wilde's going to golf. Blue, I don't think Wilde can break 200. I've seen him play. We played at a different course. He lost 1,000 balls and quit. I want to go to Lac La Belle. If I say 200 strokes, are you taking the over-under? He's got to putt everything out and take every drop where it's supposed to. Do you think he can do it?
Can I make a decision based off what I see on the range?
Yes, I'm taking the over at 200. We'll let you, but what we definitely know is Lac La Belle is the spot we want to be. Experience an American treasure in Oconomowoc this golf season at the club at Lac La Belle. The club at Lac La Belle is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin, with a rich history that you will feel once you arrive. Club at Lac La Belle is open to the public. You can schedule your tee time today at clubatlaclabelle.com. It is a golf destination you're going to want to play over and over again. A historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to clubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey today.
Jason Wilde scheduled to join the conversation with Tausch and Bulaga. And Jesse, next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and I've said it before. Life happens. For nearly 90 years, Great Midwest Bank has made the home loan process predictable through all those ups and downs. And today, GMB's simple and personalized approach to locally serviced, affordable home equity loans can turn your home's value into cash for whatever you want. Whatever your lending need, it's just a few clicks away. Apply online at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, please stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. The professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest, most advanced regenerative treatments to bring lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your own body's healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, and back. The precision treatments are done in the office with no drugs and no downtime. QC Kinetics has hundreds of clinics all over America and thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond steroids and surgery and discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine. Especially this time of year, you need to be living life to the fullest and doing the stuff you love to do. If you can get relief and avoid going under the knife, doesn't it make sense to check it out? Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation, no obligations. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. 414 285-3474.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 12.76 to 19-ounce package Bellatoria pizza, $5.99. 14-ounce ice cream or 3-count bars, Häagen-Dazs ice cream or ice cream bars, $3.99. 8.3 to 12-ounce package Frigo Cheesehead string cheese or cheese sticks, $3.99. 8-ounce chunk, 7 to 8-ounce sliced or 5.5 to 8-ounce shredded Tillamook chunk sliced or shredded cheese, 2 for $6.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
I'm Ben Jewett with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. 2023 is our 135th year in business, making it the perfect time for our crew to help you create a workspace that will help you attract, retain, and grow your business. The office is the cultural hub of the organization. We can help with interior design, construction, new furniture, and move management. Like Milwaukee's baseball team, our crew excels at home and on the road. If your company has a national facilities footprint, we can hit for you in any ballpark. Championship organizations are built on teamwork and collaboration. Visit brothersinteriors.com to see how we can help your team win.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Nothing beats driving cross-country in our RV.
This is so much fun, Dad. I don't even need to look at my phone.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Jinx!
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure that RV is always ready to hit the road. Who knows, your teenager might actually put down her phone for 5 minutes. It could happen. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Well, look at this crew that we've assembled all of a sudden here. My name is Jesse Nelson. I'm filling in for Jason Wilde as the host of today's show. Jason's on assignment. Mark Tauscher, the Packers Hall of Famer, with me in the ESPN Madison studio. Joining us for this hour, special guest, Brian Bulaga, Iowa, former Packers offensive lineman. And joining us for this segment, the host of this show, Jason Wilde. Welcome, Jason. You wanted to join in. You had a little FOMO here with Tausch and Bulaga holding it down. Well, apparently we're not hearing Jason, so we'll see if we can connect with him here in a second. Well, Tausch.
Nice job, Wooly.
Yeah, there we go. We got Tausch and Bulaga still, so at least we got that part of the crew still connected here.
All right, Blue. So this Rodgers scenario, I'm sure you've been paying attention as you've been doing a little more media stuff and you're still following the Packers. I saw you getting after some folks on Twitter about Jordan Love. But kind of just take us through your thoughts on this, because I've been, this whole scenario and how it's played out, I still think he's going to get traded, both parties, it's the best interest. What do you, from what you've seen so far, how do you think this thing shakes out?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's gonna end up working out at the end because, like you said, it is best for both parties. I'm not sure if anything's going to get done by the draft or after the draft. I think the Packers, obviously, they want high compensation for him. And he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. We all know that. But then you got to look at it on the flip side for the Jets, which everybody has. I'm just beating a dead horse here. They're not sure how long Aaron wants to continue to play for. Is this a 1-year thing? Is this a 2-year thing? Like, what's the deal here? So to give up, say, as Ben Stiller or White Goodman said, King Midas's silver for Aaron is a little, far, outstretched right now. So I'm not sure that Green Bay is going to get what I think the media has been reporting or what Packer fans want for him. I don't think it's going to work out that way. I think maybe a 2 if it gets done before this year, maybe a conditional 2 the following. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's going to be a 1 or a swap of 1s and a couple 2. I don't think it's going to work out that way.
No, it's not going to be to the same extent that they could have gotten it last year. But the thing that I'm having a hard time explaining to people, and we've had, David Bakhtiari was on Bussin' with the Boys podcast, and he was saying, well, if it doesn't work out, Green Bay will just pay him and he'll stay away or he'll be a backup or whatever it is. Brian, can you tell everybody that you can't have Aaron Rodgers in that building when you're trying to have Jordan Love take over ownership of that team? Can you explain to people why that is not feasible for the Green Bay Packers?
Well, first, it's not feasible. I don't think money-wise it's feasible, right? Like, I don't know their cap situation, but if you take on Aaron with that money, are they going to be compliant with the cap? That's
ideal.
Number one.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they will be. Number two, say you keep Aaron and say he's not in the building or whatever, right? Whatever it may be. And say, season starts, Jordan, he's playing okay, but he's not playing great. Not only does Jordan start to look over his shoulder, but the team starts to go, if we had Aaron in here, we may be able to win some more of these games.
Especially veterans.
Yes, especially veterans. Maybe not so much the young guys. They're going to start going, you know what? Aaron's still on the team, and maybe he could get us over this hump, and we could be winning some of these games. And that's the exact opposite of what you want to happen right now. It's the exact opposite. If you're all in on Jordan Love, you need to be all in on Jordan Love, which it seems like the Packers are. There's no scenario where Aaron stays. There can't be, period.
And with that, we bring in Jason Wilde, who I'm told is now with us. Good morning, Jason. Welcome to the conversation with Tausch and Bulaga. How you doing?
Thanks for including me. I've enjoyed it.
Well, we asked for you 5 times, and there's crickets on the other end, so.
I just wanted to help build some suspense, guys.
Oh, nice work, Wooly.
I'll take the blame. I don't want Wooly getting too much criticism. Hey, just to be clear, since I did enjoy the back and forth between my 2 favorite right tackles, no offense to Yosh Nijman, in theory, the Karmazin Bakhtiari plan, which the 3 of us and Jesse, and I'm sure Wooly too, think is preposterous and you can't do it for all the reasons Brian just outlined. Aaron Rodgers' salary cap number, had they brought him back as their starting quarterback for this year, would be $31 million. And that would include him getting that option bonus paid to him. So they can carry him on their roster this year from a salary cap perspective. From a realistic perspective, Brian's 1,000,000% right. It's galactically stupid. They cannot do that. But from a fiscal perspective, they can. The issue would be that next year it becomes even more punitive to try and get him off your roster, and you have even more dead money going forward because you kept him for another year. I think that is factored in some ways, to the decision to move on to Love, in addition to all the other reasons they want to move on to Love.
Yeah. I stand corrected on that then. I guess
not corrected, clarified.
Yeah,
clarified.
I guess
you stand clarified.
Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of the cap numbers and all that. I know if they cut him and the dead money is like $99 million, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
really
it's
bad.
something.
Yes.
It's
Very
something like that. Yeah, it's something like that. So obviously that can't happen. It's like that's not going to work.
Jason Wilde joining Brian Bulaga and Tausch here on Wilde and Tausch. This is an awesome situation we've got here. So you guys are talking Aaron Rodgers. You're talking about everything that's going on here with these trade talks that are continuing. Tausch has made the assertion that this thing is going to get done by next Friday or next Saturday. Like, he's saying this thing is going to get done.
It's happening, and I think what all of us are saying, and I think everybody that's looking at this rationally, says, all right, you've moved forward with Jordan Love. The Jets want your quarterback. They will take your contract on. There's a value in that. Stop believing the Russell Wilson trade haul is coming. Everybody, I think, has moved past that. The idea that you're going to hold off and wait till after this draft. If it gets to be Friday night and this thing hasn't happened and day 2 of the draft is over, the Packers lose a ton of whatever leverage that they've had. This needs to be done prior to Friday because I don't think they're getting 13 unless they swap. I don't think that's going to happen. It all comes back to, do you want that 42nd pick, and do you want something next year that's conditioned on what Aaron Rodgers does? That is what the deal flow is going to be. That's what all the reports are saying, and I think it's almost all buttoned up, and I think you're going to see it and hear it hopefully before Thursday, because then that allows you, if that pick swap gets it over and there's somebody that the Packers really want at 13, and that alleviates some of the strain that they're looking to put on the Jets in next year's deal, because as Brian just mentioned, they don't want to give up Midas's silver. I thought Midas was gold. That's the one
it may be King Midas's gold.
Okay, I thought it was,
King
but
Midas's gold.
Yeah, I'm not going to correct you on that, except I just did. That's the part that I think the Jets don't want to look dumb. They don't want to look at it. Aaron gets hurt or Aaron has a bad season and retires, and they end up with the 6th pick. And, oh, you know what? Green Bay has your 6th pick. That is what they're trying to not have happen. And as long as they have those protections, this deal's going to get done, and we're going to finally be done with this probably the middle to end of next week. That's my take, Brian. I don't know if that's where you're at, but it does make make sense for both parties.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I mean, obviously, the best case scenario, like you said, is getting it done before the draft. So the Packers have that capital in this draft, and then they know where they stand going forward. The money is off the books. The distraction is done, and you can proceed in this offseason with Jordan Love as the guy, and there's nothing else going on. That would be, like, the best case scenario for Green Bay right now. And I think if you look at it from the flip side, I get we don't really care about the Jets or what's going on there, but like for them as well, that's their best case scenario too. Get this thing done and over with. Make, the building now knows that he's the guy, he's in, this is your quarterback, and we can go from there. And then the Packers, through the draft can now put more weapons around Jordan Love, because obviously we're all talking about the Aaron Rodgers situation, but there's some holes right now on the Packers roster that need to be addressed. There's some holes. And the quicker they get this done and sort this out, they can start addressing those holes in this draft with the extra picks.
And Jason, what do you make of the assertions here from each of these former Packers offensive linemen?
Well, first of all, I feel like I'm the Rob Vogel of this conversation. You guys don't need me. I'm here to help. Brian Bulaga, Iowa, correctly quoting Dodgeball, so I'm now going to correct Tausch.
Thank you.
Bulaga was referencing a scene in Dodgeball where your favorite actor, Tausch, Ben Stiller, says to LaFleur, I don't think it's shove it up your cram hole, LaFleur. I think it's a different scene where he says, I wouldn't sell you back your gym for all of King Midas's silver.
That's right.
Messed up the line. It wasn't Bulaga who messed up the line.
That's right. I did say White Goodman, as White Goodman once said.
Exactly.
I did say that, yes.
So misquoting false information. Just wait a second, media man. So misquoting false information doesn't mean you're wrong? Okay. You know what? That explains a lot about what's going on in today's society. A lot.
He's quoting the movie. He got the movie line quoted correctly.
But the movie line's quote is wrong.
But that's the joke of the movie.
But that's not the quote.
But he said, as White Goodman would say, he was clearly quoting the movie.
That's true. I was, Tausch.
Okay.
I'm so glad I called.
Okay.
You know what? In the interest of everyone being happy
Hey, Jason,
today,
before
gracefully.
hold up, before we let you go, what do you think? Because we've seen all this. I told you yesterday that Tennessee news is all fake news, all this other stuff. Do you think right now that what the Jets offer, according to when Charles Robinson joined us last week, the 2-2 with the conditionality, do you think that is still the deal on the table, and do you think that is still what's going to get this done?
I do. We're passing Wittenberg. You got a lot of history.
Wittenberg, Burnhamwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely area.
Yeah, they taunted me up there.
So I had a conversation with someone who is plugged in pretty well yesterday, and I had a text back and forth with someone else who's plugged in pretty well yesterday. I think there is a lot of optimism on their parts. That doesn't mean that Goody or Joe Douglas are optimistic, because those were not the people I corresponded or talked with. But I think there is a feeling, as Tausch correctly stated, that this will get done in time for the second round. They are definitely not getting the 13th pick unless it were to be a pick swap at the 11th hour. But I do think that there is hope, because I think we can all agree, as Brian said, Goody wants picks in this year's draft. Even if it's only one pick, he's got 10 picks, but he's only got 3 on the first 2 days. You had another day 2 pick. That makes it a lot easier. They have 5 wide receivers on their roster right now. 5. They have 4 tight ends, 2 of whom have never played in the NFL, and the other 2 I don't think you're super excited about in Smitty, Tyler Davis, and Josiah DeGuara. So they've got those holes. They've got holes at safety. They need another second-round pick now. That helps them a ton. So I do want to add one thing that I was told yesterday, though, that I thought was interesting, and you guys can maybe talk about it after I'm gone, and that is this. The Jets are not, it sounds like, looking to get rid of Zach Wilson. They see this as a potential have Rodgers for not 1 but 2 years, and have Zach Wilson, even though he has played already, hit the reset button and do for Zach Wilson what the Packers did for Jordan Love, and that is have him sit and learn and be around Rodgers. So I think that's an interesting layer that gets added here. That way they can bring back him to be their starting quarterback in 25 with 2 years of sitting behind Rodgers, putting all his struggles behind him. I'd be curious if you guys think that would help a guy who, let's not forget, was the 2nd overall pick in the draft, but clearly wasn't ready to be their starter.
So, Jason, do you think that the Jets have gotten any assurances from Aaron that he'd play 2 years? Because it sounds like if that's their plan, 2 years with Aaron, then all of a sudden the Packers could probably feel better about holding and trying to get that 2 to become a 1 if Aaron does end up playing 2 years. Do you think the Jets have any assurances from Aaron that it's going to be more than 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know Aaron as well or better because you guys share a locker room with him than I do. I don't think he gives out assurances on anything. So I think he's probably told, hey, maybe I'll play 1 year, maybe I'll play 2. I can't promise you that. And I think maybe they've gotten their hopes up that he will play 2, that they will make it such a great situation for him that he'll want to come back, that maybe this year, if he stays healthy, they make the playoffs, they win a playoff game, and then he looks and goes, hey, I play another year, we can win the Super Bowl in 24. But no, I don't think he has given them assurances. I just don't think that that's the way he's wired, and I don't think that's the way he's been about his future in football, really at any point.
That's some really interesting stuff from Jason Wilde. You are better as a guest on this show sometimes.
I think this
Jason,
might be Balaga and Tausch, and then with special appearances by Jason Wilde. Brian, you get on board with that, right?
You know what? I'm just here for you guys. Tell me what I need to do. How about
what
that?
A great teammate.
How about that? How about that?
What a deal! What a deal!
Jason, any parting thoughts for Tausch and Bulaga here before we let you go?
All I can say to both of them is, so I can go to Maddie's gymnastics meet, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
There it is.
As always, you're welcome.
Thank you for your service joining us on a day off, Jason. Much appreciated.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
It's Jason Wilde joining us outside of Wittenberg as he's on his way to Minnesota for the gymnastics meet this weekend. Plenty to react to from what Jason had to say. Plus, Tausch wants to debut a new game that we'll play with Brian Bulaga before his time with us is up. That's all straight ahead on Wilde and Tausch. Stick around.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round one when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
To be able to breathe properly when you sleep is a profound change. To be able to sleep properly is probably the most important thing you can do for your health, period. End of sentence. In order to sleep properly, you have to be able to breathe properly. If you can't breathe properly, you aren't going to sleep properly. It sounds sort of like simple, and like I'm talking to a first grader, but I'm simply saying that most people don't recognize how profoundly impacted their sleep is by their breathing issues until we fix it. And so if we fix somebody's nose, we fix their sinuses, we make sure that their throat is staying open when they're sleeping at night, their body is for the first time ever breathing properly and therefore sleeping properly. And you kind of forget, like, oh, this was such a big deal for me before I got it fixed.
Breathe well with simple solutions at vetnose.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience saving businesses money. Another year has come and gone. How did yours go? Do you have more money in the bank than last January? Do you just have a job, or do you run a business? 85% of business owners just have a job. Our years of experience and proven strategies help you run your business profitably and get it ready to sell when you are ready. That's the end game, right? We help you look at the numbers and understand what they mean. Just ask Jason, Michelle, or Peter, who sold their businesses this year for a nice price. Do you want to get a decent salary, pay what you owe, and make a profit too? Let us help you improve your business so you can work less and make more. Sounds pretty good, right? To get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, book a call or meeting at nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
That poor shotgun of yours. It only sees the light of day during a hunting trip or two each year. Don't you think that bad boy deserves to be fired year-round? Bring it to Waukesha Gun Club, one of Wisconsin's largest shotgun-only clubs. Their Sporting Clay League begins April 29th with trap leagues on May 13th. Form a team with other friends of neglected shotguns or join a team of your own. Waukesha Gun Club has over 98 acres and is the perfect place for business or family fun outings. Learn more at waukeshagunclub.org.
Since 1964, Ewald Automotive has been on a journey to make car buying easier for your family. So if you want an easy experience, head to Ewald's 59th anniversary sale. Ewald guarantees the lowest price and includes their exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles. Plus, with live market pricing, you'll never overpay for a used car. Shop over 1,000 vehicles. Ewald's anniversary sale is going on now through month end.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Home of the chained ass babe.
Mark Tauscher, and special guest, former Packers offensive lineman Brian Bulaga joining us this
Bulaga
hour.
knows how sensitive Wilde is because we're joking around, Bulaga and Tausch with Wilde. And I think he knows that if he said, oh, yeah, that'd be great, all this, he knows he'd put Wilde into like a shell. That's how well a lot of us linemen know Jason, that he tries to act like he's this Bob Woodruff Bob Woodward reporter, and he's soft as baby poo when it comes to that stuff.
I am simply Jesse Nelson, sliding over as the producer of the show, filling in, hosting it today with you. Ryan Wollersheim is our producer in the ESPN Madison studios. Plenty to talk about from what Jason Wilde had to share with us. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. But Tausch, you wanted to talk about airlines.
I did?
So Brian Bulaga, I don't know if you saw this circulating around on social media over the last day or two here, but so Tausch, what is this that happened? So there was a flight
pitcher
attendant?
for, I think, the Blue Jays, and his wife is very pregnant. She's probably 6 to 8 months pregnant. I'm not 100% sure, but she's traveling in coach with their 2 kids, and both of their kids are little. And Blue, I know traveling with kids. I do. It's stressful. I can't imagine how stressful it would be alone with 2 kids, and you're pregnant, but they're on this flight, and I think it was, I don't know what airline, they give the kids popcorn. So they're sitting in their seats, watching their videos, wolfing down popcorn, and a bunch of popcorn spills, which we all know that happens. I mean, look at my Tahoe. Look into your car. Stuff spills. It does on the airline. Well, where old boy got mad was the flight attendant came up to old girl, who's, again, 6 months pregnant, let's call it, and says, y'all need to clean up all that popcorn that's on the floor. So she gets down on her hands and knees and starts scooping up the popcorn, and the guy got a ton of grief because he posted this video on Twitter, basically, get your kids to clean up your stuff. Brian Bulaga, what WWBBD? What would Brian Bulaga do in that case?
Oh, man. I saw this going around, and I put myself in the situation, and how would I react? And obviously, I would not be happy if my wife was pregnant and a flight attendant made my wife get on her hands and knees on an airplane and clean up popcorn that my kids spilled. I don't even know how old the kids were.
Let's say 5 and 3.
They were 5 and 3.
Yeah,
I would. If it were me in the situation, I probably would have told the kids.
You'd be flying private. Hey, give me another glass of champagne.
You'd be up in first class with the golf simulator.
I've never seen one of those on a plane, Jesse. But if they did have it, that'd be pretty cool. But I would probably. I mean, I know this is like you're not even answering the question. I would take a stab that my wife would probably have my son or daughter get down and pick it up themselves. Probably would be what she would do if I had to take a guess.
I think that would be the hope for everybody, right? Is if now obviously if you have twins and they're 2 years old sitting there, you're not going to do that. But a 5 or 6 year old, that'd be great. Now they're going to cry and pout and whine. But that is the ideal scenario. I thought it was IPT, which is in poor taste, for the husband, the Major League Baseball player, to post that video out there, though. I didn't like that at all.
No, I think that's a little uncalled for. I think he was trying to put the airline on blast, really.
He put himself on blast, though.
Yeah, which I don't think ends up looking good on him. It just wasn't necessary. And there's going to be people from both sides kind of chiming in on this, on he was right, or whatever it may be. I just looked at it as like, you shouldn't have posted it. And second, I probably would have had the kids clean it up if they made the mess. And I get that's like perfect world scenario, and no one's going to have a meltdown on the plane and all that. But I agree with you. Just not good taste right there.
No, the thing I don't like is like Dave Portnoy and some of these other people getting on there and saying, don't fly with your kids. Beat it.
What are you supposed to
fly
do?
with your kids? I don't want airlines to fly again. Yeah, okay. That comes from somebody that doesn't have kids. I get it. It is annoying. But if you've had kids, your empathy level is a lot higher than if the kid's kicking you and doing all this. It's not ideal. And I am not opposed to having kids sections in planes.
Yes.
Ah, sure.
That along with heavy set people section in planes where you put – because there's another thing that I saw floating around where this Blue, you're in good shape. You've cut – you're in good shape. You still probably get those glances when you walk in an airplane, though.
100%. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants me to sit next to him.
Please don't sit down. Please, oh, God. Oh, hey, how are you? So I am not opposed to the fact that some people, I am of the belief I want to try and make myself as small and not impede other people. I sit next to my kids or I sit in first class. I am not spilling into other people's seats because I understand it sucks for them.
Yep.
There are people that are saying that they deserve to have 2 seats and they deserve all this other stuff. I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah,
you feel disgusting with the fact that you're spilling into a seat. I always just feel I'm going to shove myself up against the window or I'm going to spill into the aisle. I don't want to spill into your seat.
Correct. If I'm sitting next to somebody, whether that either is in first class or even just back in economy, I am trying to take up as little room as possible because I already know my shoulders are in their space.
You got big, broad shoulders, yeah.
Yeah, like I already know I'm in their space. So like I'm trying to keep my legs and everything as far over as I can because I already feel guilty about it as is. But I couldn't agree more. Nobody should deserve 2 seats.
I couldn't.
Nobody deserves 2 seats.
Now, Blue, I'm not opposed to like a heavy section, like the heavy folks section, where you get in the back where there's usually maybe a spare middle seat and you fire people in the back by the bathroom. I'm not opposed to that. Now, obviously if the flight's full, tough break, but maybe if you're heavier, you throw them in the back and the kids have their own section and the adults have an adult section only. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but
you would think they have those on those like Fly Emirates airplanes that have like the full bar
golf
in them.
Simulator
Your golf simulator,
yeah.
Jesse, a golf simulator.
Yeah,
you go hit
bowling
balls.
alleys, yeah.
Yeah, bowling. Yeah, I mean, you would think that some of those planes could accommodate that, but if you're looking at your normal Delta connection from Sarasota to Atlanta, you're not getting that done. There's no way. I mean, how are you going to retrofit that plane for that?
It's going to be tough.
With the advancements in technology, you never know. And speaking of advancements in technology,
you think Blue's freaked out by AI as much as I am? I don't. We'll find out.
We're going to find out.
I am
next.
freaked out by AI.
So, Mark Tauscher, anti-big tech guy, has come up with an entire game designed around robots taking over the world. We're going to debut it with Brian Bulaga. AI, BS, or okay, or something like that. Soft launch coming up next with Brian Bulaga and Mark Tauscher on Wilde Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, please stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. The professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest, most advanced regenerative treatments to bring lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your own body's healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, and back. The precision treatments are done in the office with no drugs and no downtime. QC Kinetics has hundreds of clinics all over America and thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond steroids and surgery and discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine. Especially this time of year, you need to be living life to the fullest and doing the stuff you love to do. If you can get relief and avoid going under the knife, doesn't it make sense to check it out? Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation, no obligations. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. 414-285-3474.
The Nets look to get back in the series tonight as things shift back to Brooklyn.
Dinwiddie, left side three, yes, a 22-10 lead.
While the 76ers go for a commanding 3-0 series lead.
Play, they go into Joel Embiid on the right block. He gets doubled, but the shot goes in, and he'll go to the line and shoot.
Nets 76ers Game 3. Coverage starts tonight at 6 right here on 94.5 ESPN. The NBA on ESPN Milwaukee is sponsored by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our great outdoor event. Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like $40 off a Shelter Logic 6-foot square shed in a box. Now in stock, Cub Cadet Hydro rear engine riding mowers, half gallons of Gojo Orange hand cleaner, just $6.49, and $50 instant savings on top tire brands, plus up to $75 in consumer rebates on select tires when you buy 4. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely gonna need a cold one. There's the one. A staple of Ben's Beer Fridge is the Oh-So-Never Forgotten series. My guy Mark Butera has some details on one brew with a special meaning.
The beer is the Never Forgotten Lager beer. It's our summer seasonal beer. It's a real easy to drink and light lager beer too, so Grandpa can get behind it, everybody can get behind it. In our area, the Never Forgotten Honor Flight is in the central Wisconsin area, so we give $2 for every case, and we give $15 for every half barrel that's sold out in the market. This year, we've kind of expanded on that, so if the beer sells in a different Honor Flight area, well, the proceeds go to that Honor Flight. So we're actually getting all 6 Wisconsin Honor Flights involved in this thing, so which is pretty cool.
Thanks to Mark from Oh-So for joining Ben's Beer Fridge, and remember, get your Never Forgotten before it's gone. And also remember, the fridge is always stocked.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde Tausch. Jason joined us a little bit earlier. You can find that on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcast. My name is Jesse Nelson, but I'm not important right now. Mark Tauscher and special guest Brian Bulaga joining us on Wilde and Tausch. We have come up with a brand new game, and by we, I mean Tausch. And by we, I mean Tausch kind of told us we had to do this to give it at least one try. So, Brian Bulaga, thank you for your efforts. You are the guinea pig here for Tausch's brand new game.
Fantastic.
So, Blue, are you freaked out by AI and what it's all doing, or are you just kind of oblivious to it?
No, I don't like it.
I don't either.
I think it's creepy. I think it's weird. I think it's dangerous. Obviously, I'm not a big fan. Don't like it.
Great, so let's incorporate it into the show. So, you may be familiar with this thing that's been making the rounds. Everybody's been showing off ChatGPT. This is the thing where you can ask it questions and it formulates its responses. So, Ryan Wollersheim, first of all, since it's, as we do with every soft launch of any new segments that we debut, Tausch, we did prepare some special music.
Always got to have great music for
this.
segments.
So, yep, here is the special music that Ryan Wollersheim has prepared exclusively for this
segment.
segment.
Is new. Good job, Wooly.
There you go.
Yeah, I came all prepared today, guys. I promise.
Never heard this one before. All right, so we have asked AI a question, and following the answer to that question, we will have Tausch and Bulaga debate whether AI got it right or wrong.
Okay.
BS or okay.
All right.
We'll come up with the wording on this. The question that Ryan Wollersheim, producer of today's show, has plugged in for AI: what is the best thing about the state of Iowa?
Oh, this could be fun. Okay.
AI, what do you have to say?
As an AI language model, I do not have personal preferences or emotions, but I can provide some general information about Iowa. Iowa is a state located in the Midwest region of the United States. It is known for its fertile farmland, friendly people, and strong sense of community. Iowa is also home to several famous landmarks and attractions, including the Field of Dreams movie site, the bridges of Madison County, and the Iowa State Fair, which is one of the largest state fairs in the country. Many people appreciate the peaceful, rural lifestyle in Iowa, as well as the state's strong agricultural traditions and commitment to sustainability. Additionally, Iowa has a relatively low cost of living compared to other states, making it an attractive place to live or visit.
There it is. AI has chimed in on the best thing about the state of Iowa. Brian Bulaga, Iowa, your response.
I think from that standpoint, I think AI did a great job. I think there's a lot of things that the robot said that are very true. I'm not sure about living there all the time, and the winters are a little harsh for my blood nowadays. But overall, I think the robot was pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Easy question was it Surrey or who is that?
Who is that?
Freak you out too?
Chat GPT.
It's Mrs. GPT.
Oh, Ms. GPT.
Yeah.
Ms. GPT.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does the G stand for? We can come up with that at some point here.
Grace. Fertile farmland.
Gertrude.
Yeah.
Fertile farmland. State fair is always a big deal. I would have probably put in there it's the launching point for the political campaigns. I think Iowa always gets that. Should be part of the deal. But I think for the most part, that's one that, what are we saying? Keep it or don't keep it? Or is it, what's the tagline that we're using for this?
Yeah, it's got to be AI BS, I feel like applies there because it could be something that's totally wrong.
You didn't really do anything.
It's your game, Tausch.
Yeah, I like this concept. I would say true because AI is the truth, and I think that's the truth. I think that's a pretty good assessment of Iowa.
Yep, I agree.
There it is. All right. I think the game is going to stick. I think we will bring this one back. We will enhance it against soft launch. It's been the theme around here lately.
Unfortunately, I think we're going to be advancing it whether we want it or not because it's coming.
Yeah.
And it ain't slowing down. And it is, as Blue said, a freight train. Blue, before we let you go, Jesse does not like the way you say okay when you're responding to text. Yeah. Because I said earlier this week, when you respond to somebody and it's almost like and I don't even think this is the case with you, but you're kind of saying it to end the conversation or to move the thing forward, and you don't even put the O in okay. You just put K. And that irritates Jesse.
My wife does that when she's mad at me, Bulaga. And now you do it all the time, and I feel like you're mad. I know you're not mad at me, but I feel like you are.
You know, now that I know that, I will never respond.
Just put L. Not even a K. Just put an L.
I mean, it's definitely an acknowledgement that I got you, Kay. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to waste any more time corresponding, and let's move on.
It's certainly not a slight or anger text by any stretch of the imagination. I can assure you that.
It doesn't feel that way sometimes, but that's okay.
Get over it.
But you know what? You know what? Going forward, I know now never to respond to you that way.
Do you feel better if it's A-OK?
A-OK, the thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up or a smiling emoji or that Midas silver plate that you could put out there, Blue, since you nailed the quote from the movie.
I did, Tausch. I did nail that quote. And, it was offhand, too, so it just came to mind. So I felt really good about it. But, yeah, from now on, Jesse, don't worry. I will not do that again, okay?
Okay.
Well played. Well played, Brian Bulaga. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for joining us for a full hour
Blue,
here.
it's starting to rain here. I think I'm still going to go play, but I'm not happy about it.
You're getting rained out.
I think
you
I'm
got to rough
canceling.
it.
Yeah, no, I'm
okay.
soft. I'm going to move on.
Fair enough.
Brian, you've been a great guest when you've joined Jason a couple of times in recent weeks, and now here being a chance to get on with Tausch. Always a pleasure, man. Don't be a stranger. We'll make sure we get you back here soon.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Have a good rest of the show.
Brian Bulaga, Iowa, joining us here on Wilde Tausch. We will take your suggestions for what the AI game should be called on the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. 844-770-3776. Chris in Cedarburg, AI like it or launch it?
Well, with the launch coming on Saturday, that's not bad.
Like it or launch it. We have a suggestion, Gertrude Priscilla Truth. GPT is what we could name her.
Okay.
So we'll take your names.
I do like that name, Gertie. You don't hear a lot of Gerties anymore.
We'll take your suggestions for what the name should be of either AI herself or what the name of our game should be called on the text line, 844-770-3776. We'll react to a lot of the conversation from Brian Bulaga, also get back to some of this Trey Lance stuff and how it could impact an Aaron Rodgers trade, and your suggestions for what that game should be called as we kick off the 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
Is that like a button, like a preset that just happens when you hit a certain age and all of a sudden you start making unnecessary noises?
You can never be too sure.
Yeah, I make them all the time. Well, like my wife, I have big lungs.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Takes time to get them filled with air.
How do you know your wife has big lungs?
Take a look.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch. Back to that now.
Uh-oh, Dove Kleiman.
Oh,
Dover.
What's Dove? Is it breaking news?
It's not breaking news, but it's very, very interesting for a lot of Packer fans that think, well, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to retire because Tom Brady's retiring.
All right, so we have context. Dove Kleiman is an aggregator of news.
Well, actually, nobody has a clue.
He is an enigma, but he is a follow on Twitter where he shares news that other people report.
Yeah, he's a news breaker's breaker.
Yes. So what does Dove have for you?
Tom Brady is at some type of conference. It looks like somewhere in Miami Beach. I don't know the name of the conference. I don't think anybody cares. Tom Brady was asked about possibly unretiring and playing for the Dolphins, which he lives in Miami. I think the big sticking point of not going to Vegas or anywhere else is because he wants to be with his kids. He said after that, I still think he's going to retire, but here's his quote. I do have some friends on the Dolphins I really like.
Oh, boy.
I'll say this.
Sounds like old TB12 just stirring it up.
Tua talked about retirement. Saw that story this week. He's had a ton of concussions. Tom Brady lives in Miami. Giselle lives down there. The families live down there. That's their deal. If he is going to play, it would be Miami. I find that interesting.
Why you got to stir it up like this?
I didn't stir it up. Dove Kleiman did. Blame it on Dove.
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
He's not even here to stir it up, Coach. The suggestions, I'm going to breeze right past. Brady's not coming back.
I don't think he is either, but I'm telling you, if he does, it is Miami. And Miami gave up draft picks because they tampered with him. The owner of the team, huge Michigan alum. Tom Brady went to Michigan. There's a lot of dots to connect when it comes to if and when Tom Brady is going to unretire.
Miami got a lot of those rejuvenation clinics as well. Would fit right in with the TB12 method, I think. Keep him young, keep playing until he's 50.
Got a lot of players down there.
Ryan Wollersheim on your side there, old T.
If he's gonna, if Tom Brady unretires, it will be in Miami. He's not playing anywhere else.
Meanwhile, on the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, the suggestions.
Unless San Francisco.
Jonah in Cedarburg says, Tausch, I care about the name of the conference Brady is at. So Jonah in Cedarburg wants you to be factually accurate.
Okay, I respect that.
While you look that up, JJ,
Merge Americas, it sounds. Merge Americas.
JJ and Poinette with a suggestion for our AI game that we concluded.
How do you think that was viewed by people? I think it's fun.
I think it could be fun.
It's scary. It's freaky.
As with any game that we
SFF,
debut, I think
scary, freaky fun.
You got to work out a few of the, there's a little bit to work through, but I think we will we'll find our lane. SVP's first Sports Center wasn't very good. Now it's one of the best shows on television. You just gotta let it roll a little bit. We'll work our way through it. We got something there. JJ and Poinette suggests artificially intelligent or artificially stupid.
AI or AS?
Or AI or BS is kind of what I was.
You could call it FAF.
Going for
false as you know what. FAF.
Adam in Oregon. AI like it or AI don't like it, or AI or
or what?
He said no. AI like it or no.
I like the AI or no. I don't know. And none of those have hit me yet. It needs to hit me like a sledgehammer for me to really like it.
Keep your suggestions coming. 844-770-3776. Somebody's going to have a good one for what we should call our game where we ask AI a question and then debate whether it is a true or false statement. Keep those coming on the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. All right, let's do this real quick because I do want to hear next, Tausch, from Tiki Barber, who said Jets fans' worst nightmare. Although maybe he didn't hear that Brady news. Maybe that would be Jets fans' worst nightmare if Brady comes back to the AFC.
Nobody's
East.
afraid of Tom Brady anymore.
We'll get to that coming up because it does pertain to what we talked about earlier as well with the Trey Lance trade rumors with the San Francisco 49ers involved. So
it's almost like there's just a lot of rumors getting thrown around. Like
a week before
the
draft,
really are trying to jockey and get people thinking. But there does seem to be more smoke than usual. There's a lot of smoke.
What do you
I think
mean by
Trey
that?
Lance is going to get traded. I do.
Jason Wilde's draft preview continues over at the Wisconsin State Journal. Let's take 30 seconds to talk about running backs, Tausch. A.J. Dillon is entering his final year of his contract, which is the one fascinating component of this. But Jason even starts the article saying this is probably the position the Packers are best at. They're not going to draft a running back, are they?
No, they will. And the question mark I have is if, oh boy, Bijan Robinson is available at 15. I don't think you can do it. I think there's just too many other holes. But it sounds like the grade that you have on him is very high. People are comparing him to Adrian Peterson. And this idea that you don't draft running backs high, you can find them anywhere. Yeah, Aaron Jones was a steal. I think A.J. Dillon at 2 in the second round. I think A.J. has been awesome off the field. He's had some really good moments, but I don't think anyone here views him as the go-to guy when Aaron Jones leaves. That's why they paid Aaron Jones $11 million to come back. If A.J. Dillon was ready to be the guy, they would have let Aaron Jones go. So do I think that they're going to draft somebody? I do. Whether or not that's going to be on a first or second day, I do think they're going to be more bargain hunting. But you want young running backs. What I don't want you doing is sitting there saying, oh, well, Le'Veon Bell's out there. And all these old guys that have been used up and spit out, we know who they are. There's a litany of guys, and it's always middle of the season you hear it. I do think Green Bay wants to position itself where they have somebody that can learn, that can grow, and that can replace one of those two guys, because both those guys will not be back in Green Bay next year. You would think it'll be one or the other. I think if Aaron Jones has another really good year, unless A.J. Dillon is willing to take a hometown discount, which he might, I think that you're going to look at this as a position of strength now, but the NFL continues to, every time you think you have something figured out, an injury happens, and then you're sitting there and you're saying, we need somebody. Oh, we got to go get Adrian Peterson. Is he still playing? Who's the guy that plays? He's with the Vikings, and he's with the Saints. Latavius Murray.
Oh, yeah, Latavius Murray.
Oh, let's get Latavius Murray. Oh, there's that dude from Denver. Ronnie Hillman. Let's go get him. Phillip Lindsay. Oh, Melvin Gordon's out there. Let's go get Melvin.
I'd be open to that idea.
That's just not a spot that you ever want to be in when you're building a football team. That's more of a in case of emergency. So there's so many talented running backs that are very undervalued. Just go try to find yourself another fifth-round Aaron Jones.
Speaking of high-quality running backs, how about high-quality products from our friends at Kohler Services? Old T.
Old T knows showers, and when you're talking showers, you're looking for a new shower, you're looking for a remodel, Kohler Service is your spot to go. Kohler Service is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. And when you think Wisconsin brands, you think premium, you think exclusive, you think Kohler. And right now, Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. You can start enjoying your bath or shower this year with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com. That's kswisconsin.com today to request your free quote. And tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Jets fans' worst nightmare. Next on Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. When you're injured, call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 30 years and proudly partnering with Wilde and Tausch. Miss any of the show? Find it with Wisconsin On Demand. Presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round one when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, are you ready for a new shower? If you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for over 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy. and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Fear the Deer. Keep up with all the postseason action at bucks.com/playoffs. That's bucks.com/playoffs.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Warriors forward Draymond Green. The NBA has suspended him for one game.
Soft. The NBA is the reason why people think NBA players are soft for stuff like this. This is why I have a problem with it. What do we hear people say about the league all the time? This guy hurt his finger. He's on the IR for 5 days. You guys are soft. Or somebody gets caught with the elbow. Oh, it's an elbow. Like, we want to see more aggression. We want to see more physicality. Like, I saw Quentin Grimes with blood on his face. I'm like, yeah, it's the playoffs. I get the push-off. He got ejected. And I understand the history. Now, if you want to say, if the reasoning for this comes out, that the reason why the NBA suspended him for one game in the playoffs is because it was the way he acted with Adam Silver in the stands and him yelling at the crowd and that being a really big thing. Okay, and I get it. But this is playoff basketball.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Tausch, what do you think a Packers fan's worst nightmare would be? You're a Packers fan, you go to sleep right now. What's your worst nightmare?
I think Aaron Rodgers going on and leading the Jets to a championship and Jordan Love not being very good.
I mean, that'd be bad, but I think worse it would be like if he goes to the Bears and wins a championship. Like if that somehow happened. That'd be your worst nightmare.
No.
Yeah, you'd feel a lot worse as a Packers fan if Rodgers goes to the Bears and wins one. It's far all over.
Yeah, but he's not going to the Bears.
Never mind.
Him going to the Niners and winning a Super Bowl would be worse.
I mean, San Francisco's already got space in our heads. As we have nightmares about the 49ers all the time, and then if Rodgers went there and did it, that'd feel pretty bad.
Aaron Rodgers leading any other team to a championship would be bad. Obviously, Minnesota would be at the top of the list because they never have won.
Yeah.
If he would go and do the exact same Brett Favre path, doesn't throw that interception, and leads Minnesota, which Minnesota will be on the need for a quarterback next year, I guess that would be. I thought you were just saying next season.
No, I'm saying like in general. What's your worst
if he leads
nightmare?
Minnesota to a championship, that would be the worst case scenario. If Jordan Love stinks, if Jordan Love is good and is humming along and wins a championship like Aaron did, it's the best case scenario.
Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason on assignment. He did join us earlier along with Brian Bulagi. You can catch up on Wisconsin On Demand after the show. Ryan Wollersheim is our producer. And I asked Tausch what his worst nightmare would be for the Packers because Tiki Barber, former New York Giants running back and now a radio host on WFAN in New York, weighed in on what he thinks the Jets may be soon experiencing as Jets fans' worst nightmare. Here is what Tiki Barber had to say.
The Jets might be about to realize their worst nightmare ever. They haven't quite mortgaged their future because they haven't given anything away yet for Aaron Rodgers, but they've set themselves up. with the idea that Aaron Rodgers is going to be their starting quarterback next year, which is going to give them a chance to get to the Super Bowl and do X, Y, Z, and yada, yada, yada. But there has been this little inkling of an alternative for Aaron Rodgers, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. If the 49ers trade Trey Lance and Brock Purdy isn't available to play this year because of UCL surgery, Sam Darnold is not, I promise you, is not starting for the 49ers. They will go get, and they're okay to mortgage their future because they don't care. They're not worried about losing their jobs. They've done it before. They've gotten to the championship game. They've gotten deep in the playoffs, right? This team will go get Aaron Rodgers if he's available, and the Jets will be stuck sitting out in the cold with their underwear on, and that's it.
Like Tausch putting his belt on in the parking garage today.
Yeah.
Tausch, you poo-pooed the notion in the first hour of today's show that the 49ers would have any chance to acquire Aaron Rodgers by next week. You want to double down on that after hearing what Tiki Barber said?
Yeah, I'll quadruple down. If anything happens, the thing that Tiki should be talking about is if they don't get it done by Friday. It does open up that avenue because now there's next year in the 25 draft is what you'd be looking for. And that opens up another avenue of doors. But the problem and why Tiki doesn't need to be nervous and why the Jets fans don't need to be nervous, while Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a no-trade clause, Aaron Rodgers controls a lot of what's going on here. He told us that he intends to play for the Jets. He's gotten permission to talk to the Jets. Hadn't gotten permission from anybody else. There's no other teams in this mix. There's no other teams that want to take this contract on and give the comp up that the Jets are already willing to give up. So I understand. Listen, we got 3 hours. I don't know how many hours Tiki does. People are super interested in this still. And until the trade is done, you're going to keep hearing things and what can go wrong. And San Francisco would love to have Aaron Rodgers. They'd love to have Aaron Rodgers on a deal like what they got with Sam Darnold. Ain't going to happen. The Packers are not going to be willing participants in trading him to the 49ers. They're just not. And Aaron Rodgers has said he doesn't want to go there, even though I think he could be swayed. The New York Jets are going to end up with Aaron Rodgers, and it's going to end up being something very close to what Charles Robinson reported last week, a 2 and a 2. And that 2 is going to be conditioned on whether or not the New York Jets are any good. So I don't know if the deal is done. I would bet it is much closer to being done than it is to blow up. And I don't think that is close. I think you're looking at this thing being 90 to 95% done. And whether or not they can figure out that last 5%, typically when you get this far down the road, you figure it out. And I think calmer and cooler heads will prevail. And I think Packer fans will be somewhat happy with what happens. I think they're always going to be wondering what if, from the standpoint of could we have gotten more? Should we have done it last year? Those are all easy things to look back at in hindsight. But Tiki, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. You're going to get your guy.
So when my friends and I used to go to Bradley basketball games in college, we would play the game. When will we get to 10 points? If I ask you, Tausch, let's play the game. When will the Aaron Rodgers...
Just wake me up when you're done talking Bradley basketball.
I'm done.
Oh, okay, good.
Welcome back. When will Aaron Rodgers be traded? What's your best guess? When
Thursday
do we do
at
this?
3. Thursday... I'm guessing when the Jets see that they're going to have their own linemen, I think the pick swap is in play. Thursday of a week from today, within that 24-hour window, you're going to hear this draft pick swappage be
during the draft, before the draft, like while the Jets are on the clock. Are they going to acquire Aaron Rodgers and that place is going to go nuts?
I think you'll hear probably if the Jets don't have their guy at 13. Or if they trade, or if the Packers have somebody they really want, and that seals the deal, I think that will be enough. I think the Jets, unless there's somebody they're madly in love with at 13, you're going to see it get done when the Jets get on the clock.
All right.
Hey, does anybody really think this deal's not getting done?
No.
Like, everybody thinks it's
the fact that there are more rumors speculating now, but you really brought me down from that when you made your comment a couple minutes ago that, it's a week before the draft. This is like prime rumor season. This is where teams are always trying to sabotage other teams by spreading lies.
Saboteurs.
Agents
saboteurs
sharing
everywhere.
things with people about, this guy might want out, and it's like, it's just trying to play the game. So I think the fact that it's now ramping up, it feels like it's been a done deal for the last month, and it's just a couple of logistical things like Charles Robinson said when he joined us last week. So, yeah, I think it's a done deal. I would hope it doesn't happen on draft day, but knowing how Aaron Rodgers has...
Why would you hope it doesn't happen on draft day? It's good. It's fun. It's drama.
It is, but there's enough going on draft day already. Like, it'd be nice to have
So you want
this...
them to abide by your timeline so they do it on, like, Tuesday?
Yeah. I'd like to be able to allow this to have its moment so that we as Packers fans can then concentrate on the draft itself and not Aaron Rodgers' trade reactions.
Let me tell you a little something, and I know we're guilty of this, but focus on the draft. It's going to continue to move ahead. Who do you want? Who do you think will help Jordan Love? We had Mel Kiper on. We're going to have some people on the next couple, tomorrow and early next week. Because the Aaron Rodgers part of this saga, the only thing left is what those conditions are going to look like and if Green Bay can get a 1 later on. The 42nd pick is coming to Green Bay.
So you are in Homer's club that this is done. He is not the quarterback.
42's in Green Bay's coffers already.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of, all right, how are we going to push this across the finish line? Are you good with next year's 2? Because if you are, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. The Jets are not asking for give backs or anything else. And if Aaron Rodgers only plays 1 year, you make an argument Green Bay has won this trade in a big way. Now, if Aaron Rodgers wins big and plays 2 years and wins a world championship and the Packers are drafting a new quarterback next year, you could probably still spin it in a way, but it's not going to be very viable that you won that trade.
Got a bunch of new players that could be coming to Green Bay. That means you're going to have to buy some new merch, some new jerseys maybe. That means you could use a little extra cash. Isn't that right, old team?
Well, I don't know anybody that's not looking for a little extra cash, whether it's down payment on your home or if you're going on vacation or you're buying eggs, you're renovating a home. Well, if you are looking for more money, LabCorp has a variety of open trials that will fit your schedule. Right now, you have studies for healthy adults ages 18 to 60, body mass index of 18 to 32. And that study involves 1 stay of 8 nights plus 7 follow-up visits, and you can make, Jesse, this will get you on a nice honeymoon, 10,328 bones. Plus, you get $300 per qualified participant. And if that doesn't work, you want to do something a little shorter, you're a little bit stouter. Right now, they have a trial for healthy overweight males and females, ages 18 to 55. Females must be of non-childbearing potential. And you have to have a body mass index of 30 to 39.9. That study involves 1 stay of 6 nights with 2 follow-ups, and you can be compensated up to $3,700 provided for your time and participation. And you receive another $500 per qualified participant. Okay, go to LabCorp, clinicaltrials.com. That's LabCorp, clinicaltrials.com.
Suggestions for our AI game from Joe in Milwaukee. Artificial intelligence or authentically ignorant?
I'm on board with that. That's not bad.
Randy and Pickett. That was today's trivia contestant.
R and the P.
A-I-E-I-O. He's not the first that submitted that. Several people have sent that.
What does that
one
mean?
in.
Like it's a vowel?
No, like Old MacDonald had a farm. A-I-E-I-O.
I know, but
yeah, see,
what is the EIO for, though? Does that mean it's bunk?
We'd have to, AI. That one's out.
We're getting there.
Matt in Token Creek, AI phone home.
So it's either good or you phone home?
It's an E.T. reference.
No, I understand. What I'm trying to say is it's got to be declarative. Like good, bad, or true, false, or whoa, Nelly, or Nelly.
Mailman Matt, AI or MIA.
Okay.
That means missing in action.
I understand.
That's what that means, Tausch.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Looking for names for the AI game. 844-770.
Do you think that was well received? It feels like we're getting good feedback on it.
People are into naming it. I don't know if that means they like the game or not, but I enjoyed
it. The voice freaked me out. I was expecting Wooly to read the text from...
No, if we're playing this game, AI is going to tell it ourselves.
Do we know? Oh, from Gertrude? Is that the name that we've given her?
Ms. GPT, yeah. Ms. GPT. Wooly will get his time to shine next with Whoa, Wooly. taking over for Whoa Nelly. That's next on Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increased cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone has packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
The most important thing by far is that Chris Middleton is able to play at 100%.
He looks good enough that I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Opposite of what Jordan Love is.
I got some stuff to do.
Jordan Love doesn't look good enough for me not to worry.
It starts with love.
You haven't even seen him play enough to know for sure.
Well, what I've seen, I'm worried.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
All Brewers games are on sale now, including a star-studded battle with the Angels on deck for April 28th through the 30th. Witness some of baseball's biggest names go head-to-head as Corbin Burns and the crew face off against Shohei Ohtani and the Angels. Plus, take home a limited edition Brewers hoodie at the game on Saturday the 29th. Get your seats today at brewers.com/promotions.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our great outdoor event. Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like 36-pound bags of estate lawn or garden fertilizer, just $24.99. Robic septic tank treatment, $5.99 a quart. 22-ounce Estwing framing hammers, $19.99. $50 off a Hobart Handler 140 MIG welder, and 24 packs of Blaine's brand AA or AAA batteries, just $7.99. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee has relied on Ewald Automotive to keep them on the road for almost 60 years. We've been on a mission to provide the best experience whether you're servicing your car or shopping for a new one. Ewald may span across southeast Wisconsin, but our commitment remains local. Our customers are our neighbors. We live, work, and raise our families together in the same community. And that's why it's our goal to help you find the right car for your family.
Go to ewaldauto.com. This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
AI or a nay? Now. A yay or a nay? That's now.
I don't mind AI or a nay.
That's from Chris in La Crosse. Practice, not a practice. AI game, get it? It's Allen Iverson. Oh. Artificial or actual from Dave in Verona.
I like artificial or actual.
Not
That's
bad.
probably my favorite so far.
Artificial intelligence or ignoramus from Mac in Nashotah.
I don't know where Nashotah is either. Probably east.
Little southeast.
A little more southeast there, Nickel.
Or Matt in Token Creek. AIPT.
It's not bad either.
There's something there.
Not bad.
We'll have to workshop it. Just like we will workshop some of the topics that Ryan Wollersheim producing today's show with me and for Jason. My name's Jesse Nelson. That's Tausch. Let's play Whoa Wooly.
The guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde Tausch.
So, guys, since the show started today and since this hour started, we got some more Aaron Rodgers news from Josina Anderson this time.
What?
Apparently, Falcons defensive lineman Calais Campbell told Josina Anderson that Aaron Rodgers texted him during free agency to join the Jets so that they could win a Super Bowl together. Calais Campbell said, it was appealing to have him text you, but I kept getting a feeling that Atlanta was a special place. It was a tough decision. So, guys, another free agent spurning Aaron Rodgers. Nobody wants to go play with Aaron Rodgers in New York, guys. What do we make of this most recent failed flirtation by Aaron Rodgers in free agency?
It makes me believe that the Falcons paid Calais Campbell more money than what the Jets did.
That's most likely it.
No, it's not most likely. It is what happened.
I just got this feeling that Atlanta is going to be special, and this feeling is my wallet in my pocket.
I mean, I know I appreciate it. I think fans do too. And guys just come out. Like when Dustin Johnson went over to LIV Golf. He said, I'm doing it for the money. That's it. And you know what? I think everybody tipped the cap and said, yeah, I get it. Growing the game and all this other stuff. Okay. Yeah. All right, Atlanta. Atlanta spoke to me because they gave me $14 million.
Came to me in a vision.
You know, and Reggie White, God bless him, when he came to Green Bay. He came to Green Bay for a lot of reasons, and I do think Brett Favre was a component to that. But Green Bay offered him the most money. Like, money talks.
Money does talk. It always talks. And speaking of which, the Oakland Athletics also making a money decision. So Oakland, the Athletics, apparently have signed a binding agreement to purchase land near the Las Vegas Strip, where they intend to construct a Major League ballpark, team president Dave Kaval said just last night. So now that makes, in the span of the last 10 years, Oakland is now set to lose its third and final major pro sports franchise. Guys, what do we make of not the death of a fan base in Oakland, but the death of an entire sports market in Oakland?
Yeah, it's why, you know, Bucks fans, Brewers fans, when there's these initiatives that come up, that taxpayer money gets used and some of this other stuff, and people kind of push back, teams will do it. And teams are going to go where they can get financing. And California has stopped doing it. California's got a lot of things going on. Golden State moved from Oakland out to San Francisco but that was all privately funded by some billionaire. Oakland doesn't have that. Vegas is looking to grow. They're bringing people in, and they have just said, you know what, Oakland, appreciate you building these guys up. We'll take it over from here. And so they've made those decisions. I don't always think, like when Olympic cities get picked and all this, there's a lot of other things that go into it. But the value for the state of Wisconsin to have 3 sports teams, you see it with the Milwaukee Bucks, what it's done to that area. Brewers, you know how important sports is to the culture of a state. And it's no better example than the Green Bay Packers and what, in a divisive world and in a way where nobody can connect, everybody's fighting about everything. Sports is kind of that last bastion, and I know for us here, we don't ever want to lose any of these teams. Oakland's going to find that out, and I don't think it's going to have positive effects moving forward.
For different reasons, there appear to be two rapidly growing cities with high entertainment and tourism destination value in the United States. One is Las Vegas, and with sports teams moving there, I think it's only adding to it. The other is Nashville, and I would like to make a bold prediction that in the next 5 years, the Tampa Bay Rays will move to Nashville.
Whoa, Nelly!
That's my prediction. I think those teams, those cities just seem to be making sense. They're cities that were previously not viewed as major sports destinations. Vegas, obviously, with the gambling component. Nashville's just been built up. It was always just country music. Now it's so much more. And the tax situation, follow the money, that's got something to do with it too. But I think you're going to see some movement from cities. Like Tausch said, if cities and taxpayers are not willing to put up a little extra cash and support their local team, there are other opportunities. The world is smaller for sports teams now, and you can get somewhere else, and like the Athletics are showing, especially if it's somewhere like that where you can keep your fan base intact because it's not that far from where Oakland is. Like, that's why Vegas is such a big destination for the Raiders and now for the A's too. Good luck to them. Can't wait to go to a Brewers game in Vegas. That'll be fun.
Yeah, Kevo also told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that there's a $1.5 billion, 35,000-seat stadium, partially retractable roof will be built on site, adding the other developments including restaurants and amphitheater being discussed. So it'll be
35,000?
35,000, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to continue to see smaller and smaller stadiums because the in-home viewing, Lambeau is going to be one of the largest, if it is not already, the largest stadium.
I believe it is.
But you start looking at other places, you're not going to see football stadiums be built more than 60 or 65,000. Like, it's going to continue to shrink because everything comes to TV and what it looks like on TV. And I think ticket prices at some point are going to max out. I think we're close on that threshold. And that's why I think you're going to see scarcity breeding more. When the Bears build their new stadium, I bet it ain't going to be bigger than 65,000.
Yeah, I'd agree. But last Whoa Nelly here today, guys. We have the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors still locked in their series in the NBA playoffs. And they're now switching over to the Chase Center where the Warriors play. But the Kings letting their fans know that the cowbells they've been ringing at their games for the Sacramento Kings will not be permitted at Chase Center. Any fan carrying a cowbell will be directed to the outdoor bag check location where they can check their cowbell and retrieve at the conclusion of the game. Guys, what do we think about the Warriors apparently being afraid of too much cowbell?
I like it. It's obviously super annoying. I saw the kind of the architect of the Warriors, I think his name's Bob Myers, sitting in the stands and some dude just rattling that cowbell. Home field, home
like
court needs to be an advantage. And I don't think Golden State fans and the players want cowbell rolling through. But if I am a diehard Kings fan, I'm taking one for the team. I'm trying to get a cowbell in there. I'm wanting to ring cowbells up.
How are you going to smuggle in your
I don't
cowbell?
know.
Makes a lot of noise when you try to
You
smuggle
take
out
the
a
bell
cowbell. I
out.
think.
No, you take the bell out.
No, that's true.
You
That's
put
fair.
the bell back in later.
So what do you
There has to be cowbell. You know what you do? Get a cowbell deal on your phone, and then get one of those amplifier deals. Get all your buddies, and you send the group text out. Get the cowbell cranked up on your phone.
The cowbell app.
Instead of everyone shining their flashlights, it's just everyone ringing the cowbells on their phones.
Nothing you can do about that.
Well, they're going to force you to get your phone, take your phone out too. That would be something.
Who knows?
That'll do it for Whoa Nelly. Thank you, Whoa Wooly. Now, Tausch, sometimes when you're out, I do Mark Tauscher impressions when I tell people about Coors Light and American Family Insurance. And I haven't worked on a Jason Wilde impression, though, before.
Well, give it a run.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and it's time to get a great night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhoffels. What do you
It's not
think?
bad. Yeah, keep going.
Beauty Rest mattresses are assembled in Wisconsin, and right now, Queens start at just $499.
Nerd it up a little bit. Just nerd it up a little bit.
Or you can upgrade to the luxury and comfort
Paul
of a
and
Beauty
I,
Rest
we
Black
love. Paul and I
and get-
love going there. They got snacks, and the kids love it.
We really love, the Steinhoffels location. We were there for a remote broadcast.
Hey, we
here
got
in Green
donuts
Bay
there
last
one
year.
time.
And we've been to all the Steinhoffels where we love everybody that we've seen to meet. He means that when he says it. Like, I mean it too. We've seen everybody, but I'm working on the impression here. Or you can upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beauty Rest Black and get $200 in Steinhoffels cash. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com. That's steinhoffels.com. We appreciate Steinhoffels and all of their partnerships throughout the duration of Wilde Tausch. Coming up next, Jason is still on assignment tomorrow. I will also be on assignment tomorrow. I'll give you a quick rundown of what the situation will be, and also get your final thoughts on what we should name our new AI game as the suggestions continue to roll in on the text line at 844-770-3776. We'll check in on those next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. All this action will have you on your feet cheering Fear the Deer. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Get your single game tickets now at bucks.com/playoffs.
Cedar Ridge Distillery continues to make a home right here in Wisconsin. The original 86 bourbon is the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for 3 straight years, and you have the opportunity to get that here in Wisconsin. Also, the quintessential, the best American single malt, voted by John Barleycorn Awards, and Cedar Ridge manages every step of the production from grain to glass. Make sure you pick up the Scalzo and Bruss private barrel of bourbon and rye whiskeys, available at Discount Liquor at 51st in Oklahoma or Barstow in Maine in downtown Waukesha.
We believe the best things take time. You have your obsessions. Ours is crafting the best slow-smoked barbecue in the state, crafted only from humanely raised meats, dry rubbed, slowly smoked, and sauced by you. Add Smoke Shack to the top of your list the next time your hunger is trying to throw you off your game. Dine in, order takeout, or consider Smoke Shack to do the cooking for your next backyard barbecue celebration. Check us out in the historic 3rd Ward on Milwaukee Street or at smokeshack.com.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, please stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. The professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest, most advanced regenerative treatments to bring lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your own body's healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, and back. The precision treatments are done in the office with no drugs and no downtime. QC Kinetics has hundreds of clinics all over America and thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond steroids and surgery and discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine. Especially this time of year, you need to be living life to the fullest and doing the stuff you love to do. If you can get relief and avoid going under the knife, doesn't it make sense to check it out? Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation, no obligations. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. 414-285-3474.
At least twice as big
as the one you gave her when you got engaged.
That's the definition of a big anniversary diamond.
Kessler's has lots of ways for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from diamond mines.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of Mother Earth. And the ones that exist in the world today are all there will ever be.
Kessler's also has twice as big created diamonds.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of a ball of lightning, a miniature star, inside a plasma chamber. It's a wonder to behold.
Kessler's also has twice as big flickering firelight diamonds.
These natural diamonds flicker with all the warm colors of firelight instead of the cold colors of ice. Flickering firelight diamonds are another wonder to behold.
And all of these twice as big diamonds are for her.
The best wonder to behold of all. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. 2023 is our 135th year in business, making it the perfect time for our crew to help you create a workspace that will help you attract, retain, and grow your business. The office is the cultural hub of the organization. We can help with interior design, construction, new furniture, and move management. Like Milwaukee's baseball team, our crew excels at home and on the road. If your company has a national facilities footprint, we can hit for you in any ballpark. Championship organizations are built on teamwork and collaboration. Visit brothersinteriors.com to see how we can help your team win.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The suggestions still rolling in. I think the two best have just come in for what we should name the AI game, Tausch. First on Twitter, Coach Merriweather, AI or AINT?
I like that.
That's a good one.
AI or ain't?
So we say ain't?
He did say it looks a lot better than it sounds, so
but I like the concept of
figure
it.
that one out. Or Tim and Oshkosh, AI or L no?
But why are we going right to L?
Because, like, hell no.
I know,
no.
but AIL? L?
All right, just
do you understand what I'm saying?
If you took more or less on Prize Picks for more than 10.5 suggestions today for what the AI game should be called, you're a winner.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear, Jesse, before you leave, your projections for this weekend. We got the big Bucks game coming up. There's XFL. There's USFL. There's every sport you could think of. Prize Picks offers it. Daily Fantasy Sports made easy. And we're not asking you to compete with myself, even though that would be good for you if you did, or with Jesse. It's all about the entries and the projections that Prize Picks offers. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if you go 6 players, you get 25x on your money. There's also a fun promotion going on. Check it out, where you can win $1 million. Prize Picks, the entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It is simple. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up. And first-time users, you put 100 in, Prize Picks will give you 100. All it takes is to enter the promo code WI for that instant deposit match.
Hockey, goals in the first 9 minutes in the playoffs. I love that one.
But yeah, but which way do you go?
I go less, and I go Vasilevsky and Samsonov tonight for Tampa-Toronto. Less.
I had a hunch Boston got smoked last night. I would have went Marchand more, which I don't know if I would have won with that or not.
Tomorrow, Gabe Neitzel will be filling in as the cousin sub of the day on the show here. Wooly, you're producing again tomorrow. Attaboy. Neitzel and a couple of special guests tomorrow for you, Tausch. Sophia Minard of Bally Sports,
a little
Wisconsin.
brew talk after the long, good play road trip that they just had.
Red Sox coming into town this weekend. Going to play Boston this weekend. Talk to Sophia. Bummed I'm missing tomorrow.
I got a hunch Boston trivia is probably going to be in play. Or are you letting Wooly write up the trivia?
But Wooly, if you got a Boston accent, we'll do it tomorrow.
I might have to make an executive decision and take Boston trivia off the show sheet.
I don't think that's a bad
Greg
idea.
Cosell of NFL Films.
I always love
draft
catching
tomorrow,
up with
too.
Greg.
Yeah, he's great.
Get his take on Jordan Love, what he's seen, what he likes, what he doesn't, where the Packers are thinking, because from a film study standpoint, him and Matt Bowen, I would say, are probably the best in the business.
Artificial or intelligence?
I wonder if we run that back tomorrow with Gabe. Wooly, put it on the show sheet. You're going to run it back tomorrow. I don't know with what, something Packer-related that Gabe and I can kind of go through, or golf-related.
I'll ask Miss
Golf-related.
Golf.
Yes.
Okay. L-I-V, live.
L-I-V-I-N.
I'm taking a couple days off because I got to get to Chippewa Falls. I'll catch you next week. Tausch is back tomorrow. Jason on Monday. Have a great day. As Jason would say, take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Chevy truck season is the perfect time to step up with strength and style in a new Silverado. Whether it's your first Silverado or your next one, with the choice of 9 trims and 4 powertrains, you'll find a mix of power, trailering, and off-road capability that's right for you. Don't miss Chevy truck season with exciting offers available right now, and kickstart your next adventure in the legendary Silverado. See your local Chevy dealer and visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know that IPA beer was actually created in England? The British wanted a beer that would sustain a lengthy trip from England to the troops stationed in India. As a result, extra hops were added, and the IPA, India Pale Ale, was born. Hi, this is Marie with Discount Liquor, and we are your IPA headquarters. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The Nets look to get back in the series tonight as things shift back to Brooklyn.
Dinwiddie, left side three, yes, a 22-10 lead.
While the 76ers go for a commanding 3-0 series lead.
Play, they go into Joel Embiid on the right block. He gets doubled, but the shot goes in, and he'll go to the line and shoot.
Nets 76ers Game 3. Coverage starts tonight at 6 right here on 94.5 ESPN. The NBA on ESPN Milwaukee is sponsored by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Pier 17.